I am sorry. Are you okay?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm hustling.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? I was hitting him with body punches and I heard him, actually he was crying in there. You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time? Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and they're taking those punches.
Debunking Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
It's the champ. Shannon the champ with the fake champ. Vitaly Vitamin Klitschko.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'ma treat him like he's a C+ fighter. I'ma dominate, I'ma dog this fighter.
I'm talking about punishment. We're gonna punish you for 12 rounds. Either the referee says you had enough, or you can say you had enough, or you can stay your ass there all night until you ain't had enough.
I feel I'm the best in the sport, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. And all I did was beat opponents. I worked my way from the bottom to the top. I won a title by beating top competition and top fighters. This guy was hands title. He's a paper champion.
Do you feel that you're the best super middleweight right now?
100%.
Let's go, champ.
He can bring the pressure. He can box. I'm a true champion. I'm willing to go to his turf in Atlantic City. I'ma step on him. I'ma crush him. Y'all can mark my word to this. I'ma crush him. He's a C+ fighter. I'm an A+ fighter. Come Saturday night next week, all the fans tune in because I'ma dominate. This guy is flat-footed, swing wild. I'm not worried about who his trainer is because his trainer can't get in there and fight for him.
Debunking Productions.
BoxingVoice.com. BoxingVoice.com. BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches?
I tried to give you a good morning, but the intro just doubled up. But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Today is Thursday, and we're here to talk about the rumored return of Al Haymon. He is back. He is much more involved now than he was in the very first event in March, is the quote. They're talking about Al being back at the helm and, navigating that PBC vehicle and taking us to a final fourth quarter that we're supposed to love. There's rumors of 4 to even 5 fight dates for the end of this year. The internet has gone wild. I didn't read anything in the report about a potential Fundora, Earl Spence, Mario Barrios, and Manny Pacquiao card, how the internet is, taking it. It definitely says Pacquiao and Barrios to be determined. Doesn't mention anything that I read of it being on the Spence Fundora card. But hey, a fight fan can dream. Honestly, it bothers me every time I hear Spence Fundora. I can't believe Fundora is going to go the Spence route. I mean, look, I get it. Beating Spence makes you a bigger name, and most of us think from the outside looking in, it could potentially be an easy fight for Earl because we just don't know that he's got anything left after all that's happened in his career. So maybe it's strategic, but it just doesn't look good when you got to vacate a belt in order to go fight Earl Spence. You know, you're already a unified champion. Do you really want to vacate a belt just to fight Spence? I don't know. But that is a heavy rumor coming from the PBC that Spence and Fundora will do battle later this year. But Al Haymon's rumored return has the internet on fire for sure. The PBC gangbangers are all very, very excited. You know, I'm happy myself. Maybe we get a little bit more clarity on the breaking news a few weeks ago that Tim Tszyu is expected to challenge the IBF champion or challenge for the vacant IBF versus Bakram Mulatayev, and that'll headline the show October 19th somewhere in Florida. So those are the details I want. You know, I got that house out in Florida. Any reason to go back to Florida is a good reason for me, especially when it's got boxing, right? So excited to see what happens with that. Who's on that undercard? You know, now that Al is back, what does that mean? Do we start to see some activity? Based off the report, we are going to see fighters that we haven't seen, that haven't fought in about a year or so. So that's good, you know. That's certainly something that we wanted to hear as PBC fans, you know. Back in June, Espinoza was approached by World Boxing News and asked the question of the lack of schedule. And Espinoza back in June said, and I quote, "I know fans and observers have been really anxious for the pace to pick up. I'm happy to say that it's going to happen imminently." So I think in the next couple of weeks, you'll see some announcements. And by the time we're looking at August, September, October, there'll be a regular cadence of events that are pay-per-view and non-pay-per-view. And this was in June. Sure enough, we're at the end of August, basically September, and the rumored fight for Tszyu is in October. You have a fight with Canelo in September. So hopefully the PBC is back, and these are the breadcrumbs. And I quote, "I try to preach patience with the fans and observers to say Showtime wasn't built in a day. It took 37 years. Expecting the level of activity, you know everyone's going to be pleased when we amp up the scheduling of our events on Prime Video," Espinoza said. But it's been you know, very few fights with PBC, so our doubts are warranted for sure. We have a right to feel nervous and a right to, you know, wonder what it is that we're gonna get, if anything at all. You know, because it's been so long. I mean, there's so many fighters that we haven't seen fight, you kind of forget who's on their roster. And you really don't know who's still on their roster because so many people, you know, have fled. But obviously the rumors of Al being back have all been, you know, received well by the audience and by, you know, media. I think that even the media is missing, you know, the guidance of Al when it comes to his events. They're just not the same, right? Hopefully, now that he is back, things do pick up. But one of the sources said in February that, and I quote, "All Al Haymon's phones were turned off at the time, including his Cleveland cell. When all his phones went off," one source told World Boxing News, I knew something was wrong. Now, we had heard, obviously, throughout the industry that there was, someone was ill in his family, specifically his mom, and that he had took that time off to be with his mother. The report is certainly not saying anything about the mom, but it's definitely indicating that he was not around. The same source said that, quote unquote, without Al Haymon, PBC could struggle, and it did. Another source admitted, quote unquote, concerns early in the summer surrounding habitus rollout or a one-off nature of our events. Again, no guidance, man. The source said, and I quote, "It's hard to get real momentum when it's a one date at a time and we don't get a sense of continuity." Which is true even for the fight fan, right? Like, we don't know what's next. It's been one in March, one in May, and one in June. We're getting one in September. And hopefully that one that has now been recently announced for October with Zoo. But it's a long report, and it's thorough, and it goes from front to back, meaning from Al being there to leaving to coming back. They talk about the Amazon dates. They talk about Amazon potentially getting more involved now that they got a better handle on things and, a sense of how PBC does things. So there's allegedly going to be more promoting from Amazon. So the source said that although Amazon broadcasts NFL every Thursday night, football's production and broadcast is cookie cutter, quote unquote, because everyone involved knows what's happening even 6 months ahead of schedule. It's easier to build a routine in a sport from start, per the source, meaning boxing is so up and down, it's hard for them to get a handle on it. Boxing events are different beasts, the source said. Main events fall out. Fighters withdraw due to injury, and things can change at a moment's notice. Pay-per-view events in boxing can have a short lead time compared to football, but Prime Video now has gotten used to this after 3 events and a busier schedule in the second half of 2024. So there was a learning curve, and you know what? Espinoza said that. I guess as boxing fans, we didn't want to hear that. We didn't want to hear that they were moving to a network that wasn't capable, right? That had to learn. None of that makes sense, right? Like, we thought Amazon did movies and TV shows, so what did they need to learn? But obviously, as the report says, and I quote, boxing events are a different beast. And I quote, "There's now a comfort level having done it a few times, and so it's less of a heavy pull," one source with knowledge of the situation told us. Amazon has gone through the process now, and it's second nature. Another key factor in the uptick of the events that Premier Boxing Champion is preparing to roll out is due to Haymon's return to the company. Multiple sources have told World Boxing News that Haymon is firmly back in the mix at PBC and shaping the near-term future of the business. Quote unquote, "He's back," one source said. His involvement has definitely increased over time. A second source close to Haymon told World Boxing News he is much more involved now than he was in the very first event in March. It's not a coincidence. The pace and regularity is now increasing. The source also suggests that while Haymon has temporarily been away from the company for the family emergency, his cell in Cleveland went dark simply because he changed his number after getting spammed with caller ID spoofing. Strange, though, right? Like, they allegedly couldn't get a hold of Al, and they were concerned, and he just changed his number, and he couldn't give it to anybody? He didn't tell anybody? Sound like my man wanted some time off. Even in Haymon's time away from the game, PBC showed focus on quality over quantity. I don't know about all that. As it delivered big events showcasing top-tier stars, Tim Tszyu versus Fundora, Canelo versus Munguia, to the Tank Benavidez doubleheader. And despite any stop-start rollout of PBC events, it retained the core of its roster as two of the sport's faces in Canelo and Tank, and may finally now release that imminent schedule with a broadcaster in Prime Video that is more comfortable with the quirks that programming and boxing provides. So, with Haymon back and Prime Video ready to fire on all cylinders, PBC's end-of-the-year schedule could, that's why in my title it says potentially and rumored, could be September 14th. Obviously, this one is set. Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo Alvarez. Super middleweight attraction with the undercard as followed. You know, we spoke about who's on the undercard. October 19th in Florida, somewhere, we don't know where yet, Tim Tszyu versus Bakram Mulatayev. November 2nd, now second time that day being confirmed for a Tank fight, is the return of Gervonta Davis, no opponent. December, to be announced, Earl Spence versus Sebastian Fundora, super welterweight fight. To be determined, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, welterweight. So they haven't determined where and when, so there's no date for that one. The first big event of PBC's fall and winter schedule lands with September when Canelo faces Berlanga. So they're adding that as part of the rollout. And next is going to be the return of Tim Tszyu. And according to the report, it says Orlando. So hopefully they go into the Caribbean Royale. Hopefully. Because that's a nice spot. That is a nice spot. We got also, PBC is also in the middle of planning the Tank Davis return for the following month in December with an opponent yet to be determined. Obviously, there was heavy talk for Cruz to get the fight. Cruz, according to sources at PBC, has been in the mix for that second fight with Tank. But after the August 3rd defeat, he may have to wait in line and rebuild. According to one source, Rayo Venezuela has certainly put himself forward for the consideration in the November fight. Speaking prior to Tuesday's confirmation that Shakur Stevenson will defend his title on October 12th against Joe Cordina in Riyadh season, one PBC source regarded the former top-ranked star as a strong option. Nah, Ness, what he supposed to do, sit around and wait, Ness? You dumb motherfuckers. Making me curse early in the morning, you stupid dummies. Cliff, where you at? How you like that report, Cliff? With Teofimo Lopez at welterweight and Vasyl Lomachenko failing to express interest to compete in 2024, it leaves a few other candidates. If Lomachenko really doesn't want to fight this year, then Venezuela may find himself moving up on the list, one source said. In December, PBC has a number of options. Samson Lewickovich told World Boxing News earlier this month that pending recovery from injuries, Benavidez will fight in December. Obviously, Benavidez has to recover from broken ribs and a cut on his eye and injuries to the hand in the Vazdev fight. Obviously, Samson told World Boxing News that Fundora Spence was an option for that month as well. and he told them that Spence is one of the two options, with WBA champion Terrence Crawford being the other option. And we all know that there is super interest for PBC to stage another Pacquiao fight, and that is Barrios, but it hasn't been confirmed when on the schedule just yet. But at least the source acknowledges that it will likely, quote-unquote, draw heat on the account of Pacquiao's 45-year-old age and inactivity. But regardless, Pacquiao's status in the sport as a modern-day great in its event, which will no doubt draw eyeballs. So they don't care. They're going to roll the Pacquiao dice yet again. Big fights aren't the only thing PBC's looking to get over the line. It also had, quote-unquote, ongoing conversations with small number of outlets for a second broadcast deal. One source with knowledge of the talks told World Boxing News. Though nothing is imminent as a fall and winter per se, there is definitely an interest from the broadcast industry despite general uncertainty in the media, the source said. Warner has been very aggressive in the market, the source said, with French Open tennis and Mountain West football championship playoffs. NBA rights are meanwhile up in the air because of a lawsuit Warner Brothers. Discovery filed after losing media rights to Amazon. The crux of Warner's lawsuit is that it alleges the NBA breached its contract by declining its new rights deal that aimed to match Prime Videos. So Warner Brothers Discovery is a great platform, according to one source at the PBC. That is bullshit. I don't know, like, why would boxing fans be on the Discovery Channel watching lions, tigers, and bears? That shit makes zero sense. They better go to a different branch of Warner Brothers. That whole Discovery Channel, bro. I don't even. When's the last time you've been on the Discovery Channel? Whoever cut the cord don't even got the Discovery Channel. Like, what in the fuck is they talking about? And I promise you, I remember cutting the cord, and they actually want you to pay for the Discovery Channel. It's not like a bundle. Like, that shit, man. Who the fuck cares about the Discovery Channel? They tripping. This is what I'm saying. Then you're going to get these gangbangers to tell me it's better to be on the Discovery Channel. No, go to fucking DAZN. That's where the money is. I mean, not the money is, but that's what we already giving our money to. Why do we got to go now pay for Discovery, bro? I never had Discovery. I'm not getting it. I'm just being real. I'm not getting it. Just like I ain't get fucking Peacock, man. They're not going to get these, ass backward networks and expect me to break my wallet for them. Absolutely not. I ain't doing it. But phone lines are open if you want to talk. Let's get it in. Joe Pilot. Joe Pilot.
Oh, you hear me?
Loud and clear.
It's me again. Yeah, man. It's a great thing. Al Haymon's back. Back in the fold. Al Haymon's great for boxing. They kind of blame Al Haymon for all the islands, but before Al Haymon, don't forget Top Rank was icing out Floyd, not giving them fights. So there's always been islands, regardless of who's the face. But yeah, I'm with you. I want PBC to go on DAZN at least. Maybe they can get something working that they can be in DAZN and Amazon if they do like the Amazon. But if Amazon's not giving them any real money, what's the point of being at Amazon? It makes no point. You might as well just do all them pay-per-views at DAZN, and DAZN probably give you funding. But I just don't want them to go to DAZN and up the price on the subscription, because I already cut DAZN off. I'm not paying no $30 a month to watch a whole bunch of European guys I don't never heard of, and that's forcing me to YouTube their name. I'm good. I like my American fighters. Sure, I do like some European guys. I like some Mexican guys sprinkled in here and there, but it's just crazy. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe maybe he has to change the structure. PBC's been known to pay guys generously. Maybe they have to lower the pay scale a little bit, so they don't burn so much money, because it's not they burnt all the money in Showtime. They burnt the money in CBS. I think Al put the money, but I don't know. I forgot. But they burnt a lot of money. They had like allegedly $500 million. That's a lot of money, especially 7-8 years ago. Like, I don't know, maybe they got to lower the pay scale a little bit, try to get some of these casinos to, pay their way like Top Rank does. Like Top Rank goes to Oklahoma and does all that, and they get some type of stipend from the casino to at least produce the fights. I think they just have to be a little bit more creative on how to get funding for these fights. But Al, if there's somebody that can't do it, I think it's Al Haymon. Al Haymon, every time they say PBC's underwater, it's in the red. Al Haymon finds a new financial backer somewhere and keeps it afloat, until he has to do it again. So it's good, and two, maybe this is all Amazon's plan. It's like you said, and then look at the first experience Amazon had with pay-per-view. Thurman got hurt. And it's not a surprise. Look at all the PBC names that have had headline pay-per-views. And the first one was supposed to be Thurman, who was, Al's guy. Like Thurman was always the opening act when they ever got a new network. And then it was Canelo and Tank. So I think maybe, Amazon got a little bit mad at that Thurman got hurt. But yeah, but it makes more sense. A heavier back half of the year, more people at home, especially here like in the East Coast. It's winter. So I'm out.
All right, champ. Malcolm, counter.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Shout out to Boxing Voice, man. Before I get to the main topic, man, hardcore shit, we gotta talk about those fights last night, man. Valle, man, it's just really two of them that I want to talk about first. Valle was in with a pretty rough guy, come forward. You know what I'm saying? He did, he got the job done. It was a clear win, but, there were some tough rounds, He had a very good jab, especially in the first round, letting his hands go, and I loved it, The only thing I would have liked from him more is at times he was fighting this other guy's fight, Piedra Hita, some shit like that. I forgot how to say his name, man. But he was fighting this guy's kind of fight. He was getting hit with some shots. I believe the 7th round he got hurt. I would have just liked for him to have more of that mid-long range, get some 1-2s going. The uppercut was there whenever homie would come forward.
Do you understand that sometimes you can't box long range? That was the opponent, bro. You got to give credit to the opponent.
But this is what I'm saying. Like this is why I wanted to get everything off. Like, it's easier for me to say this than, for somebody to do it, because homie was just coming forward.
Exactly, bro. He was non-stop come forward, too. He was pressure.
At some point, I would have wanted him to, turn him a little more and then step back, because homie probably would have came forward and ran into a shot, But it's a learning thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a tough fight. I get it. Shouts out to him. And then when he gets to those 10, 12 round fights, hopefully he takes those first 2 rounds a little slower, so he doesn't fuck up his gas tank, man. Jared Hurd, man. Yeah, man. I don't know why there's people on the fucking internet saying robbery again. Whether it can go either way, it was a fucking close fight. Hurd's problem is he does not let his hands go, man.
That shit wasn't close, bro. That shit wasn't close. Come on, bro. Rosario won that fight, and I put money on fucking Hurd. Last minute, I spent money on him. I'm like, yo, everybody keep asking me, Ness, why you ain't
You had Rosario winning?
I had Rosario win. Come on, bro. He was the one making the fight. Non-stop. He was the one letting his hands go. Hurd was on the back foot, and all he was throwing was jabs. When he was even throwing, they was jabs only. Occasionally, a little short, rolled right hand that he would try to, roll off the counter with it, but it ain't had no pop. No pop. Nah, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all got to do better than this, bro. Y'all got to know what y'all watching, bro. Rosario. Because, I bet on Hurd. They kept asking me, Ness, who you got? And I'm like, bro, I stood away from this fight. I kept telling I'm staying away, but I am leaning Hurd. I just think he's fresher. Like, Rosario he looked like a fucking drug addict getting out of the jail, bro. He looked horrible, but he was more determined. He had that fire inside. Every fucking round, he had that dog look, even in the corner.
I don't know.
Bro,
To
they
me
robbed him, bro. They
personally, 'cause
robbed him. Come on, man. They robbed
to
him.
me personally, I don't feel like either guy did enough to make a
Hell
statement.
no,
That's
bro.
just me. All right, yo, next, let me get off.
How Rosario ain't throw more punches than him, bro? Come on, man.
We gonna do this today, man. But yeah, look, that was just my thoughts on it, man. Either way, it's a draw. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who to feed either guy to. Ammo Williams came off a loss. Get him to fight one of them. In terms of Hurd, he could do better, man. I don't think he's ever gonna learn. The motherfucker's 33. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be fighting like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole thoughts on that. Now the whole PBC shit. Shout out Sid Bayless. Shout out C-Dub, because, you know, they're going to have fun today, assuming C-Dub calls in. But hopefully, man, with PBC, they can do something. You know, I think the problem is what Joe Pilot said. When it comes to just them having a network, it's never a consistent thing. It's always a year. They burn through bread. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens after that. I'm not really worried about this year. I'm just thinking about the future. You know, and then them going with the zone, I'm cool with it, man. You know, I think we just need one. We just need everybody together. But just like Joe Pilot said, man, I left them once. Like, once they hit that 25 a month, I said, nah. You feel me? Even if I do a yearly thing and that's like the 20, I know they're going to keep increasing it. Most of the times, like we're just getting a bunch of European dudes. And at least that I got top rank, I have a fucking Disney bundle, you know? So, all right, we'll just see what happens, man. Shout out to Boxing Voice. Yo, Matt, we all take the L, man.
But it's not your time.
Just hold on to that, man.
What L I'm taking? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just shocked that you ain't have Rosario winning, bro. Dude clearly outworked Hurd. Like, he was coming forward. He was behind the jab, bro. Like, he was technically sound, too. Like, that's bad. A dude could do good as hell and motherfuckers still not see it. He looked good, man. Shout out to Rosario. I wish I didn't fucking doubt him, even though it wouldn't have mattered because, you know, it ended in draw. But phone lines is open. G Vaughn, what up?
Going on, Ness?
What up?
Morning TBV. Another beautiful day in boxing. Hey, shout out to Haymon, but it's crazy that you know, I wonder how many people are gonna acknowledge the fact that this is damage control, acknowledge the fact that they threatened by Big Turk. You know what I mean? I know people got a lot to say about Big Turk's cards, but I mean, you see what's going on here, and that's basically someone had to go break into his house, you know, masked up and everything, talk about, Al, we need you. Big Turk fucking doing his thing, man. Like, how the fuck this motherfucker that ain't even from this country gonna outdo us in America? Crazy, man. But, I mean, hopefully we start getting, like, a better schedule, better fights. And honestly, too, hopefully we get the fucking liberation of David Benavidez. You know what I mean? He's over there being oppressed by the black man. It's crazy. Like, I remember I was seeing you have a short recently talking about how David Benavidez could be one of Al Haymon's biggest fumbles. And I agree, but a lot of people, this is what I've been saying, but, you know, I say it differently, so people don't like the way I say it, because I say he's being oppressed. But it is what it is, man. Al don't really believe in fucking David Benavidez like that. His team don't really believe in him like that. And he himself don't believe in himself like that. And it's a fucking shame, because he's a great fighter. He's just, you know, threw away his opportunities twice on his own, you know, stupidness. But outside of that, he's a great fighter. You know, any shit outside of the boxing, it is what it is. You know, I'll slap him when I see him. But that's besides the point, man. David deserves certain shots, and they're not giving it to him because of the fact that he's not a black man. It is what it is. Like, a lot of these people, when you have the fanboys of the PBC and Al Haymon, is because they think it's a super pro black company, which, you know, in some ways it is, some ways it isn't. But I just find it outrageous that Canelo was given a 3-fight deal from Al Haymon himself that had 3 black men. None of them were in Canelo's weight class, Ness. Not one. Not the big Charlo, not the little Charlo, and not Spence. But you have David Benavidez, a guy who's right there, right in front of him. He's not even given the opportunity. And people want to, make it about Canelo ducking, make it about David ducking. But Al Heyman has never made the fight possible. And, I think he feels the type of way because he understands that Big Turk is the only one that can make this fight happen, especially because Canelo said, give me 200 million. That's my price. I'm sure he'll take a little less, maybe 150, 120. Who knows? But he's naming his price. And Big Turk said the fight is possible, and it's only possible through Riyadh season. And he's not lying, man. People don't understand. They got Amazon backing them, right? So they think like, man, we got the biggest.
That's the bell, champ. That's the bell. Majimbe de lo mío.
What's good, Ness? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yo, I'm just calling about Pro Box yesterday and the Jason Rosario robbery. My man put him down, and they stole that from him. That was a knockdown. And then he also had him on Queer Street. He was more active. He was always on the front foot. He landed the more cleaner shots, even though his right hand was, it was horrible. It looked like, bro, he looked like he's tiene una nariz millonaria. You know what I'm saying? He looked physically, like he looked in shape, but in the face, you can see that my man's going through some shit. But I still think that he won the fight. I don't think Jared Hurd did enough. And that right hand was there all day. That bullshit ass fucking shoulder roll was fake. It was a facade, bro. It was a facade. It wasn't even there. He had that right hand all night long. I want to see him back. I'm not saying he's back, but I want to see him. I'd like to see him in there with Boo Boo because Boo Boo's coming back down. Give Jason to Boo Boo and do the Big Charlo, Jared Hurd fight. Put both those fights on the same card. They're saying that now it's a real rollout. Those are two fights that I'm willing to see for free. For free, give us those for free. Maybe another pro box event. Even though I know Charlo's probably they probably got to pay him to fight. So I don't know, man. But I saw you guys. All three of you guys had it for Jason as well. What do you think he should do next?
Nah, he got to keep rebuilding. This was his first fight back on TV. He already had, I think, 2. Samson didn't even want him to fight anymore, but he was fighting and reached out to Samson and asked for help. And Samson decided to help him. But, I think he needs another pro box fight. I don't know that this means he's ready for the PBC yet, and they're not stable. We're talking rumors right now. He needs to take another pro box fight. Maybe him and Chris Pearson. I think Chris Pearson. Actually, Pearson was at 68 when he fought McCumbee. Yeah, they got to find somebody.
I don't know, man. He looked decent enough, though. I think he looked decent enough to be a comeback for Boo Boo. One's coming off a draw and one is coming off a loss.
It feel like it's your time.
Cut the shit,
but
bro.
But it's not your time.
You don't think so?
Hell no. How the fuck he's going to fight Boo Boo off that? Like, Boo Boo would kill him. And he's moving up from 54.
Bro, Boo Boo didn't look great either against
David. That's the bell. And Boo Boo looked great them first 3-4 rounds. You tripping. Go rewatch that shit. He just, gas, right? Like, he tried to fight a style that wasn't his with a bigger man, and he overexerted himself. We got the Pull-Out Bandit, $2. Roll out. We got Galaxy Studio, $2. F Turkey, money can't buy respect. Capiche emoji, hit my song. Exclamation point. Face with Hardin smoke. Puerto Rican flag. Even though I'm always confused. I guess the Cuban is backwards with the red stripes. Because I wasn't sure. I felt like there was a Cuban fighting yesterday. DB, $5. Warner Brothers Discovery is HBO Max and TNT Sports, not the Discovery Channel. Thank you, my friend. My producer actually sent me something in regards to that. And under Warner Brothers, you do have Discovery, Life, HGTV, TNT, Cartoon Network, Food Network, HBO, TBS, TLC, Warner Brothers, Flagship Entertainment Group, CNN, Investigation Discovery, Luminar Television, Pogo, TNT Sports, True TV. Hey, Top Rank was on True TV first. That would be crazy if they go back to True TV. Boxing goes back there. Warner Brothers TV. So it could be placed on any of those. Okay. Just got that side text. The pull-out bandit. The pull-out bandit, $5. He just suggested the Benavidez fight. Hence, Canelo threatening to leave and sue prior to the Munguia fight. Okay, so I think pull-out bandit is insinuating that Al Haymon suggested to Canelo to take the Benavidez fight, and that's why Canelo threatened to sue and leave prior to the Munguia fight because David was not on the contract, and he tried to enforce the contract. All that theory makes sense. It's not backed up by any facts, but based how things played out, certain rumors and reports that we reported on, that makes sense. It does seem logical. But what seems more logical is something a caller said. I'm not taking credit for it. I just remember what he said. I think it was yesterday. A caller said Al didn't give Benavidez Canelo or Canelo to Benavidez because he needed Canelo to keep PBC afloat until the true rollout came, which now is here, right? And, because think about it. If you lose Canelo, right, if he loses, he's a major part of your deal with Amazon, right? Like you're telling Amazon you're bringing the face of boxing and then the future face of boxing. Now, if you bring the face of boxing and he loses, it don't really look like you know much about boxing when you just told the company this was the future and this guy is the face and he loses, So I think they were protecting Canelo to possibly, get this deal sorted out properly. Or an extension, who knows? I don't know. Both theories, though, I think are believable. But this is business, so I'm believing that they use Canelo as a pawn to secure dates with Prime. And any other network for that matter, right? If Canelo's with you, you can go to HBO and say, hey, we got Canelo and Tank. He's on contract. You ain't lying about that. How long that contract exists, they got to ask you. Malcolm, counterpunch, número dos.
You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm back for the smoke, man. My brother, but do you claiming that this is a robbery, by the way?
Hey, you don't even got to take it up with me. Remember, another caller called directly after you to express his opinions, and he claimed robbery, so you could take it up with him. You already don't agree with me.
Okay, because I was just trying to get your... But I just wanted to know if you thought it was a bad decision or a robbery, because to me, a robbery,
I just can't. I don't see how Hurd got a draw. I can't see how what rounds was he winning off the back foot with the occasional jab. Meanwhile, my man is landing right hands, pushing the pace, putting you on the ropes, like hitting you to the body. Like how many times did we see Rosario go 6-7 to the body with 2 shovel uppercuts? Like, bro, that was his thing. The jab was on point. He just kept jabbing all night, working behind the jab. Like, that was discipline. He's not getting credit for the great shit that he did, and then he didn't get the decision. Like, the fact that you think it was close, but you think it was close when one man clearly outworked the other one.
Round.
But that's close.
I have Rosario about 1 round, but I thought it was close.
Exactly. So that's too close. In my opinion, Rosario outworked him. It was just it was clear after the first round. He clearly outworked him. He just kept gradually every round. He was even increasing the pace. I don't know what you watched.
Hey, and I just seen it a few hours ago. You know, I was able to watch it at night. And then, you know, hey, after the fight, look at the faces, man. That's all I gotta say. You feel me? My son heard. Well,
Rosario, my dude. Rosario came in there looking like he's in treatment at White Sands facility, recovering from heroin or
coke.
That
face looked a little more crazy after the fight. You feel me? Like, he looked a little more beat up. Because he came in looking like Tank. You know what I'm saying? He looked like a Dominican Tank. I looked at him, I'm like, oh, shit. You know, but, you know, face just looked a little more crazier after that. But, you know, that's that. But what I wanted to ask you, too, man, what was your thoughts on that stoppage for the first fight? Like, I wanted it to, cause, like, I felt
that
like
was a bullshit stoppage. Come on, bro. That right hand, like, bro, that referee needs to get fired. And that's the thing. I talked to the commissioner out there, and you know, he's so nonchalant about these referees. And my thing is their ages. They're not competent. This man don't know what he's doing, let alone what the fuck he's watching. There was no reason to jump in there. Now, did he save us? Yeah, that was a shitty-ass heavyweight fight. Craig Lewis looked terrible. Terrible. Like, first of all, television needs to do better. Like, you know, and that's my boy. Daniel, you my boy. Gary, you my boy. But, like, y'all can't complain about heavyweight fights and then you don't even care the heavyweight that you put on. Like,
let me get this
I would not give Craig Lewis a job with his body looking like that.
What I was gonna say, like, after that first knockdown, like, let me just get this off real quick, guys. But after that first knockdown, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You feel me? When he got hit with that hand clearly, because I think it was a right, I'm not sure, and then he got all wobbled. I don't know if it was really he was off balance, but if he would have got dropped again, that's when the ref should just say, yo, if I don't see something, I'm going to stop it. But to, you know, just getting rocked and then just stopping the fight, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. Ness, appreciate you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we see shit different, my brother. I appreciate you for not being disrespectful at all also. I'm going to keep tuning in, my brother.
All right. Nah, bro, your opinion's your opinion. I can't get mad at you. I'm just shocked that you didn't see one man clearly throwing more punches and even landing more punches. I don't think that was difficult to see. So my outrage comes from you calling it close. It's like, what did Jarrett Hurd do to deserve the word close in that fight? He ain't do nothing, bro. Dom with the dollar cash app says, Warner Brothers Discovery is Max, formerly known as HBO. Yeah, we went over that. It's more than just Max, that's for sure. We got James Benitez.
Yo, Ness, man, you got to stop this Malcolm style level eye. You know, he's calling fights every weekend and shit. So, you know, he sees fights differently than you, man. That you ain't been on that side. But also, man, shout out to the return of Al Haymon. So with that being said, that means we about to get structure in the PBC ranks. That means Jamal Charlo about to get a date. We about to see him. We about to see Lubin. We about to see all this rollout that you're talking about. And I do agree with you with the point that you said that Canelo was keeping PBC afloat in the meantime. But my thing is though, Ness, man, like if Canelo, if you saying that he had to, if Al Haymon had to go ahead and return back now, just so he can go ahead and get some things contractually taken care of with Canelo, but he had to do that before the Berlanga fight, before the tough fight, so he had to go ahead and get Canelo for a long-term deal before he loses on September 14th. Is that what you're saying? Because this is perfect timing right here that he came back.
Dang what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying they gave him fights that he should not lose in order to extend that Amazon deal.
Nah, that's what I'm saying right here, man. He came back just in time, just so he can go ahead and just lock in this deal before Canelo gets his ass whooped, on September 14th. But what you say sounds good as well, man. So before they lock in a potential David fight, they're gonna go ahead and get Canelo for another 2 years. But also next, man, I ain't watched the fights last night, but I'm probably about to watch it in a few. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I ain't watched the fights last night, man, but I'm about to go ahead and check them out in a few. But I was hoping that we were going to get movement in the middleweight division. But I mean, like that fight last night, it was supposed to put the next guy in championship contention. So you think that whoever won that fight was going to get lined up with Elijah Garcia? Is that what you were thinking? Or was it going to be more so Carlos Adames? And since I'm about to go ahead and park, man, shout out to the community.
I don't think either of
You don't
those
think
guys.
so? I mean,
I don't think the Pro Box fight had anything to do with Carlos.
But what about Elijah though? You think that would have been next up for either one of those guys?
I mean, yeah, that could have been a good option for Elijah on a bounce back, but Elijah is young enough that he should be going straight into the Chiron rematch.
Come on, man. Like I don't know, man. I like Chiron's energy, man. I think if they have that rematch, I won't be surprised if Chiron gets that again.
Yeah, but that's
okay.
That's what should happen then. But why should Elijah sidestep Chiron? Ain't the boy 19? What the fuck?
Man, shout out to you, shout out to the community as always, man. Some tasks are too tall to handle. Elijah's 20, I think.
Yeah, so
he's young as shit.
There's no need to treat him with kid gloves. Like, yo, he was supposed to beat Chiron. He didn't. Go back to the drawing board. I don't think that he should walk away from the ring. See, this is what I'm saying. Where the energy at, man? If this was Devin, get it in blood. Like, what the fuck is we talking about? Y'all pick and choose.
Come on, man.
Y'all pick and choose who got to do rematches and who don't, bro. It's wild. It's wild, bro. You literally trying to give him two dudes off retirement on their first fight back and shit, talking about. But Devin got to go fight Matias. He got to fight Isak. He got to fight Ryan. It's crazy out in these streets, bro.
But see, man. See, I was trying to just walk away without even bringing up Devin's name. But here you go. Look, man. I've been saying Devin needs to do strategic retreats, man. He needs to either go for a big fight, like hell. Devin got so much name power, man. I would hope he was whispering in Sheik's ear that he can try to get a Manny Pacquiao fight at 47, since Manny Pacquiao wants to come back and fight. Or even probably just do safer fights. I don't believe Devin can beat Matias. I don't believe Devin can beat Richardson Hitchens. I don't believe Devin can beat Frank Martin. You want me to keep going down the list, Ness? Like, bro, I don't even really want him to get it back in blood, but he should. But anyways, Ness, man, shout out to you and shout out to the community, man. Let me get in this office.
God damn. Two Tones video about Fire Stick in the Canelo fight got over 160 retweets. I'm telling you, that price is crazy, bro. That price is crazy. The fact that these people continue to listen to everyone who creates content, they hear the consumer complain and moan and cry and don't adjust the price is insane. It's insane. They're essentially trying to charge us $10 and some change per fight, and we ain't even asked for some of them shits. Shout out to Natty Turner. Everyone corrected me on the Discovery thing. I accept defeat. I was wrong. I thought it meant they was going to the Discovery Channel, which made no sense to me. Thank God it's potentially back on HBO. Maybe that can help. But I don't even know who has HBO these days. Don't get me wrong. Game of Thrones is still huge, right? But I don't know. Terrestrial cable just isn't what it used to be. Brandon, Cincinnati. Damn, shout out to the 2% of Russians that listen to the show on podcast. No Brandon?
Yo, how's my audio, Ness?
Clear.
Had to jump out and jump back in. Hey, I fell asleep on the main event of Pro Box last night. Was it a pretty good fight? I hear you guys say it ended in a draw. Was it exciting at least?
Not like, oh, go rewatch it. Like, Hurd didn't. In my opinion, he didn't really participate as much as we would have wanted, and Jason didn't land like the most
We ain't
beautiful
got to
looking
spend too much
shots.
time on it then, because that fucking Valle fight was a barn burner. So I
Yeah.
was just wondering if it was that level. That was a
No.
great fight. I hope they bring the Colombian, the Pimple King back. He was probably roided like a motherfucker, but man, he came to fight. He gave Valle a tough fight. That was a great fight.
It's funny. I was
But Ness,
watching that one, and I'm like, bro, him and Pitbull would be a fucking fantastic fight.
man, yeah, that'd be a great fight. That'd be a great fucking
The thing
fight.
is, that kid's
Yeah,
only
but-
9-3, bro. But that style, I get it. I love that style. But that
Yeah,
that
I
fight,
mean, but the guys told you he don't. I mean, you can be an undefeated prospect, but if you ain't in exciting fights that's gonna keep asses in seats, he ain't gonna fuck with you. And that's what he meant when he was talking about the Merriweather kid. Your style ain't gonna put asses in seats. That style right there will keep fans coming back.
yeah, but why not put that kid against Merriweather? That's how you match boxers. You put them in with with the dudes that they fear, which is forward fighters. Like, don't cut Merriweather. Put that Colombian in with Merriweather. Let's see what that Colombian can do to Merriweather. Can that pressure the Colombian, crack Merriweather, or is Merriweather going to outbox the brakes off him?
Absolutely, and that's if I go over. I'll send you $5. I want to cook because I got a bone to pick with you. Before we get on, well, let's get to the main topic. So I just jumped on. What is the Al Haymon coming back and proposed schedule? Did they mention particular fights as far as what we can expect?
I mean, the only
what are they
thing,
saying the proposed schedule is going to be?
The only concrete is the Canelo Berlanga, the Zoo Mulatayev in October, which now has a state. They're saying Orlando, and the Tank date is now the second time. The November 2nd is being rumored, and that's it.
Rayo, right? Okay.
Yeah, Rayo has become
and
a front runner.
I hope Al Haymon does come back, bring some structure to PBC. I hope they get more dates. I hope they put on great cards. But I just hate the fact that we always got to play this mystery game with them. I love the fact that Big Turk's transparent with the fans. He's letting us know what he plans on doing ahead of time. Whereas with PBC, it's August and we still waiting on a schedule. Where Big Turk,
feel like it's
now
your
I'm letting
time,
y'all know now I want to put
but it's not
it
your
on.
time.
Like I said, Steve, I'm sitting right now. He wants to put on fucking Zoo and Zhang and in the Silverback Gorilla, Martin Bacoli. He's letting us know that's the shit he wants to do. He ain't, giving us this mystery shit and we just waiting around wondering, So that's what I love about Big Turk, and that's what I want to see from PBC, a voice that kind of let us know what they got planned instead of just proposed rumors for months and weeks and shit. But nah, Ness, the bone I want to pick with you is one of the last callers said something that kind of pissed me off, and it's a monster that you created. You are very influential on this show. You have these takes and they just catch fire. And Cliff, I think that was, said in the fight, well, look at that guy's face and look at that guy's face. Whose face looked worse? There has never been a time in boxing where we could judge a winner or loser of a fight by who face has more marks or bruises on it. But you kind of started that shit with the Virgil and Boachuk fight. And it's just catching steam. Now, every time I look around, somebody's bringing that shit up. Look at his face and look at his face. We can say who won the fight by that. So just watch what you say and some of the goofy takes you might make when you get all rambunctious and riled up, because them shits pick up steam. And now we got guys saying that we can judge fights on who won or lost by whose face was marked up more. So it's just that shit kind of pissed me off because that's never been a judging criteria of boxing on whose face has been more red or whose face has been more bruised up. No, we score round by round. And I feel like you went ham with that point when you was, you know, kind of, throwing the cape out there for Chuck versus Virgil. So yeah, guys, we do not judge fights off whose face is marked up more. If you heard that, delete that shit out your brain. But yeah, like I said, I hope PBC comes back. I hope we get a schedule. I hope we get some fights. I hope we get some free fights. That shit you were saying about Canelo as well, Ness, like maybe they putting Canelo in fights, he's gonna win to secure a bag. That means we gonna get shit we don't want to see. We don't want to see Canelo in fights we know he's gonna win just to secure a TV deal. That don't sound like some shit I want to hear. I'm not excited about putting him in there with Mobili and Eubanks and guys like that just to keep him around on PBC just so we can get more dates in the budget. Like, nah, we want to see the good fucking fights, the fights that he can lose. I'm not paying $90 to keep watching him fight fights that we know he's going to win over and over again. That's bullshit. And any hardcore fan can agree that that's bullshit. But I'm going to send you this 5 and let you go, Ness. But yeah, man, we don't judge fights off of whose face is bruised up. We don't do that. I don't want to keep hearing that shit. But that's my call, Ness. I'm out. Protect your mental health, brother. Send you that 5.
All right, CYP.
You may feel like it's your time, but it's not your time.
What up? What up?
What's up?
Yo. Hey, I think that shout out to Brandon too. That was a good take. I think that we've been confused, man, and we let Eddie Reynoso do that. Y'all do realize that unless you agree on terms, there will be no contract written. Like, I don't know why we don't know that, right? So when he says, I bet you can't prove that there's no contract for that. There was no contract for David. There was no, of course there wasn't, because you didn't agree to the terms, my man. Like, if you're a smart person, you know that. We discuss all kind of fights here on TBV for Border Wars, right? And we all know we heard the fights, but if it wasn't loud to the public, anybody could say, I was never supposed to fight this dude, never supposed to fight that dude. Show me the contract. Like, what you mean, the contract, fool? You never agreed to the terms. We were just talking about what we wanted to do, and you shut that shit down. It's like with my man Sheik. Sheik ain't got no contract that he sent to Canelo because Canelo keeps saying he don't want to fight Bud. So why would I send you a contract when you constantly saying you don't want to? So it's easy for you to say, well, they never sent the contract. Saudi's never sent a contract. Dog, you never said you wanted to fight the dude. And one thing about Eddie Reynoso, what I don't like, he tells white lies all the time, and he tries to fool us. He said clenbuterol was never knowingly took. We know they didn't knowingly take it, huh? Because that's what everybody says when they get caught with drugs. He still hasn't admitted that they sent the offer to Triple G for 155-pound catchweight for the 160 title. He don't admit that, but all the sources say it was true, right? And it's funny how Dan Raphael said the contract was true. PBC said the contract was true. Sampson, who I don't really believe half the time, he said it was true. And every source they reached out to said it was true. And David said it was true. But because there was no contract, it means all of them are liars. Like, this dude just becoming like, I don't trust nothing Eddie says. Eddie is full of shit. And I ain't talking about Eddie Hearn. I'm talking about Eddie Reynoso. He'll say anything that cannot be proven through pen and paper as if you don't have talks. And I'm going to let y'all know something. How many times do you see contracts from the same promotional company's fighters? Like, I think y'all be getting confused by these cross-promotional contracts that are sent to other promotional companies. It makes sense. When you're in the same company, you don't have to write a contract for two dudes who are sitting right next to each other. You have a conversation about what they want. They negotiate back and forth. Then you come up with the contract for the actual business side of it. But most of it is done between them two because they're all in the same family. That works for me and my company, and that's in his company, everybody's company. When they work inside, that's how they do. I really don't understand how y'all get confused by this, but it's totally okay that y'all do. But in the future, think about that. Just because there's no contract don't mean somebody did not turn down the terms of the goddamn deal. That's why there was no contract written, because you weren't going to accept it anyway. That'd just be bad business. You said you didn't want it. Why the hell would I be sending it to you? But from what I've read and what I looked up, Dan Raphael is not connected to Sampson. Sampson not connected to Dan Raphael. PBC is not connected to Dan Raphael. And Dan Raphael has been the guy that we have looked at as the most truth teller when it comes to announcing things. And he says Yes, they were in talks for the offer for 35 for Jamal and 55 for David in September. In May, they weren't sure. The reason why it was discounted is because they didn't know if people would buy the tickets because Jamal had been so inactive. He didn't look that good versus Jose, but they were going to pay the money back to Canelo for the September fight against David. If you think Dan Raphael's lying about that dude, then okay. I'll be back. TBX, CYP out.
What
You may
the
feel like it's your
hell
time,
was he talking about?
but it's not your time.
I don't even know. What is he talking about Canelo and David for? I'm lost. I missed that one, CYP. Counterpunch Brandon, courtesy of Malcolm. Counterpunch Malcolm, numero 4. Drop a bomb for my mans. End Conquest, $5. No words, all love. Salute.
Yo, yeah, that counter, that third one, it was to cover Brandon's call. That's my caller
Yeah,
of the
he
year, by the
texted
way.
me. He said he's gonna take it in a bit.
All right, for sure. So, yeah, for this one, so it's kind of replying to Brandon. That was definitely me. It wasn't Cliff who said that. Now, I did say that. I'm not gonna lie. I try to hit you with the okey doke. I try to bait you into that the whole face because I don't really use it to judge fights. But you said it before for the Virgil thing. I remember you saying that, and then some time back, it was probably like a year ago when they had the Navarrete and Valdez fight. When I remember one show we were talking about who beat Valdez better, Shakur or Nav, and the face card was used. Because he looked like shit after he fought Navarrete. So I try to hit you with that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really work. So yeah, that's just really it though. But I don't think I really got anything else to say. I'm pretty much done countering for the day. Shout out to CYP, man, because I'm not going to lie to you. I was trying to figure out what the fuck he was saying. But, yeah, my boy just be coming up with some topics, man. But I CYP, man. Shout out to you, Ness.
For real, man. I ain't know what he was. I was waiting for him to bring it to the rollout, and I'm like, okay, he ain't going nowhere with this. This is his own thing. We got a brand new caller in Florida, sunny Florida. Who's this?
Hello, this is Kevin.
Kevin, where you calling from in Florida, champ?
So I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I live in Tennessee now.
Okay. Well, talk to us.
Nah, I was just talking about the PBC rollout. It do seem like the biggest issue they had was with Amazon Prime with a new company. But I do understand like how boxing fans can feel like it's kind of weird why they took so long. But it is all different things. And then one thing I've been listening to the show for a couple months now. I know y'all all been talking about the zone, like Top Rank maybe going to the zone. I don't think that's ever going to happen because I think ESPN love Top Rank because Top Rank have live television. So ESPN is just using Top Rank just for live television. So I think that the zone is probably only going to keep Matchroom, a sheet, and are they getting Queensberry or that's a rumor still?
Still a rumor, man. Still a rumor. Queensberry certainly has not announced they going to the zone yet.
Yeah, I don't think they all gonna go under one umbrella because if they do, it's gonna be a little bit harder for them all to get dates. And like I said, I think Top Rank is just gonna stay on ESPN because ESPN gonna let them do whatever they want. They're getting the sheet money because a sheet just want to have the re-out season on it, so he don't care what platform it's on. It can be on the Zone or ESPN. If it's just a re-out season, he's happy with it. But that's just my opinion about it. Hey man, I enjoyed the show. I'm not a member, but I am subscribed to the show. I just wanted to say that. And hey, you make some good points sometimes. Some points you make, I don't always agree, but hey, you always have me entertained. I couldn't say that.
I appreciate you, my brother, and thank you for subscribing. You know, every subscriber counts. The more we get, the bigger the interviews. Today, we're actually going to have world champion Angelo Leo on the show. So if you're a member, if you're a YouTube member, and you're a Patreon subscriber, you can drop Angelo Leo a question. He is now a two-time champion. He'll be on at 8:30, so we need about another hour and 10 minutes before we get him on, which gives you guys plenty of time to ask him all the questions you need.
Yeah, that was a great knockout, though. I ain't gonna lie to that. That was a good knockout. I remember that the other day. Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, hey, I appreciate the show. Appreciate you entertainment every day because I know it got to be hard on you. But we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, and nah, man, it ain't hard when you love what you do. And this the only sport I rock with, man. Is this in movies, right? So the boxing has a lot of space in my life because I don't have other things, you know, cluttering it. DC3 $2, PBC rollout coming soon. Be patient, TBV. Al Haymon.
You may feel like it's your time, but it's not your time.
Goat emoji. Mr. CYP. Counter.
I look, the fact that you didn't hear nothing G-Von said in this fucking call lets me know you didn't tune that boy out. Because everything I said was based off of him. What the fuck? You didn't hear him? He was the one talking about PBC don't believe in David. They never have. They only support black fighters. They never send out offer. He needs to leave them. That's what the call was about. That's why I gave proof on yes, they did. And I could have swore to God, Plant is white and pretty much gets any fight that he wants on PBC. Pitbull, almost got any fight he wanted. He's straight Mexican. And then they signed Canelo and give Canelo who he wants. So the fact that it's pro-black, I say, well, goddamn, tell the Mexicans that because they don't believe you. And then tell Plant that too. He don't believe you either. So for me, I didn't like the slander when it made it racial as if they're holding David back because he's not black. That shit's crazy because I've told everybody this is 100% fact. 100% fact. If you look up every single company and their executives and their main people, from Top Rank to Matchroom to Queensberry to Oscar, Golden Boy, everybody, the most diverse group, which means has the most different racial backgrounds, is PBC. PBC has the most employees that are black, Mexican, white, Asian, of them all. They're the most diverse. So if you're gonna sit here and say some shit like that, at least come with facts. And if you do, know that I am going to counter that. Because what we're not gonna do is bring race into the one guy who actually has shown that he supports every race in boxing. He just happens to be black. So that seems to bother you and some of the people that Al Haymon is a black man. But that black man actually is more culturally diverse than every single person in boxing. But we're going to sit here and play these damn games on this show, which always bring up some racial shit to try to make the black man look like he ain't doing something right. But in reality, you ain't got no facts to back that shit up, and that's what I'm here to do. Shout out to Al Haymon for continuing to employ everybody, no matter their goddamn color. That's what the call was about. And G-Von, I'm sorry to tell you, Ness don't even listen to you no damn more. Because I heard everything you said. He didn't hear shit. I'm gone.
No, I did hear him. He just chose to use Benavidez is oppressed by Al Haymon, or Benavidez is being oppressed by Al Haymon on the sake of black people, some shit like that. But yes, the producer did send what you are referencing to clear up the G-Von situation. So we'll just move this around a bit. And as you can see, it says, a source said, and this is clipped out of a Dan Rayfield article, which we use Dan a lot here. A source said that Al Haymon would have given Alvarez the guarantee in the agreement to fight Charlo if he also agreed to fight a September fight with David Benavidez, the unbeaten WBC interim super middleweight titleist, and one of his mandatory challengers who many believe would be his toughest test and a huge fight commercially. So, yeah. Also, Majid sent this, which he claims, he believes this is what CYP was also referencing, where it says, Dan Rayfield, excuse me, Dan Rayfield. Canelo Alvarez decided to part ways with the PBC after turning down a guaranteed $35 million versus Jamal Charlo, as PBC included an agreement that Canelo must face David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, in September. So their point is Canelo didn't like that. Al did try to get David to fight, and G-Von is lying. G-Von, why you lying, bro? Jonathan's, I was about to call you Jonathan Sins, but it's Jay Billy Counterpunch. Jay Billy. Jay Billy. While we wait for him to reconnect, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Let me see where we at on thumbs up. We're only at 294 thumbs up. We've been live for 1 hour and 15 minutes. We got over 1,000 people watching. We need 600 to open the live chat so that everybody can chat, not just the members only. Right now, we're at 230,605 subscribers, so we need about another 400 subscribers to get to the next goal of 231,000. Jay Billy, Counterpunch.
Yo. Rosario.
Straight.
Yes, sir. Shout out Ness putting in that mofo word. Jay Sims is crazy, man. But Ness, I had to counterpunch because, bro, what you saying about Swift is crazy to me. Like, I literally saw Swift. I fell asleep in the middle of the 6th round, but I saw Swift take 1 through 5. You could probably give Rosario 1 round throughout that, but I'm pretty sure he took 1 through 5. So if Rosario took the back half 6 through 10, then the draw is very much credible. I don't know
we totally
what Rosario
disagree,
did in that.
brother. There's no way Jared hurt.
Well,
bro,
look,
how'd
because
you even
boom,
give him round
look,
2?
hurt.
How you even give him round 2, bro? Come on, bro. Come on.
He looked better in round 2 than he did round 1. The jab was stronger in round 2. He was more active.
Yo, that's all he did, though.
What was Rosario doing? What was Rosario doing?
Right hands.
You said jab. Where was the jab at? And I'm a Rosario fan, so I was looking for the jab. Where was the jab at, Ness?
Hey.
I'm listening.
No, listen. I already said he was landing the jab, landing the right hand, and 6 and 7s. He landed that 6 and 7 to the body all day. Them shove uppercuts to the body all day.
Emo, yes. The body shots, yes, but the jab, no. The jab was non-existent. That was
That's
Hurd.
not true. That's not true. The fight's on YouTube, bro. It's free to watch. You need to
I watched it this morning. I watched it
rewatch
again this morning. I got it.
You got to rewatch it.
I don't know. I just think we're seeing different things. Like, we saw a totally different Hurd. We know Hurd for an inside game. He was looking, I'm not going to say great because y'all going to think I'm exaggerating, but he looked really good at that outside to mid-range game.
What's your scorecard?
I told you I fell asleep in the middle of the 6th, but I gave her 1 through 5, and then I saw Rosario coming on in the 6th.
Bro, that's impossible 1 through 5. That's like, bro, I can't even talk to you no more. That's crazy.
I'm sorry, but hey, it's subjective though, Ness. This is why I've been telling you, this scoring shit, if it's not by a professional, it's subjective. But if they gave him a draw,
bro,
I didn't even see Rosario wasn't even active, Ness. The first 1 through 5, he wasn't really even active. He had to get comfortable first.
Wow.
He didn't really start getting comfortable to the end of the 3rd. Go back and rewatch.
He didn't really start getting comfortable to the end of the 3rd. After the first round, he got comfortable. After the first round, you can see in a second he come out.
How? He was damn near getting walked down. Hurd was damn near walking him down with the jab, fam. Come on now.
Right, whatever. I mean, look, it is what it is. You seen something I didn't.
Hey, a difference in opinions. That's why we love this show, so people can call in, give their different perspectives and opinions, and we can have this discourse. But that's you full of shit, like Jay Benitez would say.
There's gonna be more people
right now, dog.
There's gonna be more people that believe Rosario won than people that believe Swift won. I mean,
I don't think so.
So far,
maybe I was sleepy-eyed. Maybe I was sleepy-eyed. I'll go back and watch it again tonight.
So far, we up 3-2. We keeping count. We up 3-2. You the only second person. You and Malcolm seen Jared Swift win. Remember that. Just you and Malcolm. Me, James, And who the fuck was that on Discord that called in? Me, James, Brandon? No. Somebody else, though. Y'all heard the callers. Y'all know it's 3-2. Let me see here. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Hit that like. Let's go, man. G Vaughn on the counter.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to you though, Ness. Biggest flip flopper, depending on the topic or what's being spoke about, or who he's speaking in front of. You know what I mean? I'm glad that they brought up that article because I remember you did a whole show where you were questioning it. You said, "How do we know any of this is true?" But now it's like, oh well, let me show this article, and then that's why it must be true that David was offered a contract or Canelo was offered, but he turned down David or whatever the fuck case might be. You know what I mean? But that's not how it is, and you know that. I mean, you could play it back. You were questioning the authenticity of that report, but now it's like, hey, you're lying. I got you. But it is what it is. You know, when it comes to this stuff, they don't believe in David, and people who are able to see that are able to see it. How you give that man a 3-fight deal? One of the guys is one weight class below you, another one is 2 weight classes below you, and another one is 3 weight classes below you. But the guy who's in your weight class, he doesn't get offered shit. The only time that he got offered, people forget that that report came out after Charlo was nowhere to be found. The guy on the original deal. Spence already lost, so he's out the picture. Charlo, Jamal, was nowhere to be found. Somewhere drinking fucking whiskey, fucking drinking Hennessy out there in the fucking islands and shit, or I don't know where he's at, right? But he's drunk somewhere. So he's nowhere to be found. So now they're trying to scramble and keep Canelo satisfied. They try to give him a substitute. Let's not forget how this worked, how this happened. They try to tell him, what about this? What about that? And then they told him that we'll we'll put David on the contract. But the thing is, they wanted to give him David for the same price that they were going to give him Charlo. You get what I'm saying? And his thing was, hey, if you're going to have me fight him, I need more money, because it is a whole different fight than if you're fighting Charlo. You get what I'm saying? It's people. You made this argument too, Ness. If something is originally in your contract, you would feel some type of way if they just throw something else in the mix.
Absolutely.
Say you're working a 9 to 5. Your boss tells you, "Don't worry, today's 8 hours," and you let him know, "I have something to do after work." Yeah, don't worry, today's 8 hours. Come to find out, mandatory overtime today. You would feel some type of way. This was not in the fucking plans. So, Canelo being the boss that he is and everybody loving that he's moving like a boss right now, don't forget, him being the boss told Al, no deal, homeboy. Where's Charlo at? Oh, he ain't nowhere to be found. Don't worry about it. I'll figure something else out myself. So, me lying? No, never that. Shout out to you, Ness. Shout out to the community. Free David. Justice for Regis.
You may feel like it's
yeah.
your time, but it's not your time.
So yeah, G-Von is right. My stance was I didn't believe the report after, because we all know I believe Dan Rayfield's reporting. I didn't believe the report after Samson Lewickovich, David Benavidez magically and mysteriously deleted their posts claiming Canelo ducked $65 million or whatever the true amount was that day. You guys remember. And they only deleted that after Eddie Reynoso came out and said that he challenged, because CYP said his quote wrong. Eddie Reynoso said, I challenge anyone in the PBC to back them up. So, that's when I said, well, wait a minute. Shit don't sound right. Because he threatened the PBC to prove it. And then they delete their posts. So if you delete the post claiming he's ducking you and you offered an X amount of dollars, why are we not believing Canelo and instead still believing you? But okay, G-Von. Remember to say that stuff. That's why I have flip-flopped on the situation because there's valid information both ways. We definitely believe the credibility of Dan Rayfield, but when Eddie Reynoso challenges PBC, and it looks to me like someone, the higher up in the PBC, called Sampson and said, "Hey, take that stupid shit down before you fuck up the money." I mean, Abraham, what up?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yup.
Hey, the last time I called in, you said you didn't get my counterpunch, so
I got it. I got
verify
it.
that you
I
did.
got it. I got it. You sent $10. It must have came later, son, but you sent 10, correct?
That is correct. I just sent you another one. You'll get it. I'm really not calling in for the topic for the simple fact that I don't like talking about the politics. I like once the fight's made, regardless to, I know the politics get in the way and the managers and all the fighters that, well, I don't want to fight him because I think he'll beat me. I want to stay undefeated and all that punk shit. I get it. But unless a fight that's interesting gets made.
Hey, Abe, are you on a Bluetooth or something? Because you sound muffled. We really can't make out what you're saying that clear, or at least I
Hold on
can.
a second. Hold on. How about now?
Perfect.
Yeah, what I was saying is I didn't call in for the topic for the simple fact I don't like getting into the politics because I know it's going to be a bunch of bullshit. Managers and fighters that don't want to fight this fighter because I don't want to get beaten out and I want to keep my O and all that shit. So, but I do. I was on the line the last time, and somehow you didn't pick me up. But I wanted to ask because everybody keeps mentioning Puerto Rican fighters, Miguel Cotto and shit, and I'm like, how come nobody ever mentions the great Felix Tito Trinidad? Y'all forgot about him or some shit?
What do you mean forgot about him? Mention him in what way?
No, everybody's always talking about great Puerto Rican fighters, and it's always Miguel Cotto. I don't never hear anybody say Felix Tito Trinidad.
I mean, we always say Trinidad. We just say the last great is Cotto. Last great Puerto Rican they got is Cotto. They waiting for the next one.
Out of sight, out of mind, I guess. But I didn't really call in for nothing. But that's my call, bro. Did you get that?
You said today?
Yeah, today.
Oh yeah, Abraham.
get it.
Abraham, I got it right now. 7:39. I guess it takes a minute. I got it at 7:39. It's 7:41. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that. I got to change this clock. This clock is like 3 minutes behind. I'm sorry, but yeah, I got it at 7:39.
You may feel like it's your time.
All
So
right,
you
man,
got
have a
another
good one.
call. So listen. You got another call because if you send $5, that's a counter punch. Cuts the line. You send 10, that's a king counter, which means you cut the line of the people that are already paying to cut the line. If you only take 3 minutes, you got 3 left. So you can leave. Just raise your hand again, and I'll come to you when you're ready.
You got it.
You got it. We got a couple super chats we got to get to here. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up. We are rocking out, getting you through your work day. Did you get your steps in? You know I went for my 5 a.m. walk. Leonard Sterling, 5-pounder. Frank Son, 3 U.S. boxers. Lee, Lugo, Abel Gonzalez recently, Fabio Wardley yesterday. If any promotional company have benefited from Turkey arrival, it's Frank. For sure, I was shocked that Fabio signed to him. Shocked. I ain't gonna front. Shocked. I guess Fabio wants a shot at Dubois, maybe? And he said, fuck it, let me stay close to Frank. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get why sign to Frank if you want heavyweights. You don't even need to be with Frank. I don't get it. Then he signed my man from Florida. Abel Gonzalez is my man. I know y'all gonna act like I ain't fucking put y'all on, and like I ain't had him on the show a bunch of times, and like I ain't tell you he was fighting on that MVP card. But yeah, I put you on, Abel. You know, and I got shocked about that. I'm even still shocked about the Brandon Lee. The fact that he's signing Americans got me shocked. But you know what? He's playing catch up. So yes, he's benefiting from Turkey's arrival, but he's playing catch up. Matchroom been Matchroom USA. They established Matchroom USA years ago. So Frank Warren, shout out to him, but he's playing catch up. And compared to his counterpart, rival, Eddie, he hasn't signed big U.S. names. Eddie signed a big U.S. name with huge news attached to it. I mean, the news is so big, I want to end this show and do that news. I mean, it's enormous. It's almost bringing tears to my eyes, bro, because I'm so, okay. But I'm still. So much going on in these texts. I'll tell you, wow. Damn. We got Q and North, $5. You don't think it I bet you the news breaks before my 4 o'clock show. I bet you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just tell you a snippet so that you know, damn, Ness knew he was just trying to hold on. It's in the welterweight division. And what else can I say? Fuck. Got everything to do with the biggest name in the welterweight division. And a potential fight that is probably not going to happen. Q and North, $5. You don't think it matters that Hurd probably won the first 3 rounds and the 9th in the 10th round? Gave Hurd the first 3. Hurd had moments. It was close. I did not give him the first 3, though. I gave him round 1. I gave Rosario round 2. I gave Hurd round 3, Rosario 4. And I gave Hurd round 5, I believe. Yeah, and I gave Rosario 6, 7, 8, Hurd 10. Hurd 9 and Rosario 10. So, yeah, man, I don't know. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds for Hurd, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds for Rosario. Yeah. 6-4 for my card. Bones 13, $2. I had Rosario winning and I put money on Hurd. Me too, bro. That's what I'm saying. I put money on Hurd. Dudes asked me while the fight, before the fight, and I'm like, oh shit, you can still bet. Damn, I might bet something now that everybody keep asking me. And I put a small bet on Hurd. Like, I wanted Hurd to win, but I didn't see him win. So, and I'm mad. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker ain't doing enough. I'm going to lose my money. And I did. I wonder, did I not lose my money since it was a draw? I need to go check my slip. The pull-off bandit, $5. He just admitted that they tried to add David. Case closed. Laugh out loud 3 times. Damn, they got you, G-Von. As CYP says, the beauty is this show's recorded. Boston Jared, $5. Clean, hard punching, ring generalship, effective aggression, defense are the criteria used to score fights. All that other stuff is BS. Rest in peace, Harold Letterman. DC3. But that's what I'm saying. Who landed the clean, effective punches? It was not Hurd. Hurd's only effective punch was the jab. That's it. Who had the ring generalship? It was Rosario because he's pushing the pace, has Hurd on the back foot and on the ropes. Who had the effective aggression? Rosario. He's landing 6-7s to the fucking body. I don't know. But again, we've seen the different fight. DC3 $2. Al can't make Canelo fight him. I like Nello, but he a duck emoji. James Benitez, $5. Be honest, both Charlos and Earl done more in the done more in the sport of boxing than David. When people review history off accolades, those names are better. CYP, another one. Let's see what number is this for this gentleman. Anyway, I'll tally it up and let you know.
Damn, buddy. Thank you, with that pull-out Banter, keeping it real, because my man just admitted that they did offer my man when he said they don't believe in him. That's why they didn't. I mean, sometimes, you know your strongest point, Javon? Be straight up bullshit. Like I'm noticing your pattern. The harder you say it, the bigger you lying. The more you say it, that's when you really lying, dog. Because you know that everybody wants that fight. Now, I was just going back and looking at some shit. So if Canelo wants 55 ain't good enough, 65, let's just say $100 million to fight David, you will realize that would be, I'm talking about guarantees. This is before Turk was even announced, right? Before Turk was even announced. This is between PBC, regular pay-per-view, how we do it in America. To get 60, 70 guaranteed million, guaranteed, that would be more than Mike Tyson and Holyfield got, more than Triple G, him and Triple G got, more than Cotto and Floyd got. Like, the guarantee that he's asking for is not happening. The reason why Manny Pacquiao got so much guaranteed to fight Floyd was because that's two different networks of guys who have done $1 million pay-per-views. So the financiers in the background are looking at the odds of this doing money. Boom, boom, you do yours, we could do 2 to 3 million buys. So that makes sense for us to be able to offer you guys that money, because that money is a certain percentage out of the potential pot. I'm trying to figure out, what in the hell makes you think that we could pay you 70, 80, 90, $100 million? Pay him what? $1 million? $2 million? $3 million? Because that would be $103 million pot, which ain't happening. $110 million pot, which ain't happening. So you got to give him something. So let's say we give him 10 and give you 100, which is fucking crazy. That's $110 million pot of guaranteed money. That's more money than Floyd was getting in a guaranteed pot. And Floyd was fighting other pay-per-view stars. So you're asking for things that cannot happen financially. So I'm going to tell y'all something, boxing fans. They call them the big wigs. The big wigs with the glasses don't give a shit about all that hardcore talking, all that name calling. All they care about is the numbers. Jonathan Sims can help y'all on this. They care about the numbers. They crunch the numbers. They're looking at the bottom line. I don't care what y'all saying out on Twitter. But if you think that we're going to give $110 million guaranteed to a fight that may only gross 100, which will put us in the negative, you're crazy. You're going to have to negotiate this the real way. David Benavidez is not a big enough star for us to be giving you $100 million, man. You got to come down on that. 55 is good enough to give him 20, and let's see what happens. Hopefully the fight goes 100, we get our money back, and then you split revenue, boom, we made $10 million on this fight. That's how numbers work. Some of y'all who believe that Canelo is seriously not ducking David, you're crazy. You either did not take a math class, you either live in Mexico, you either from here living in a Mexican town, or you just like, or your favorite food is duck, and your favorite game is duck hunt, and your kid's favorite game is duck goose. You understand that? It's something about y'all I just don't understand. If I was an alien looking down on this, Canelo Alvarez would make Mexicans look like the duck people. CYP out.
All right, CYP. We got a king counter from Jay Swift.
You may feel like it's your time, but it's not your time.
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, I've been watching Danny and Jared Hurd for a long time because they both have my name, Swift. And the one thing I noticed about Jared Hurd way back like 5 years ago is that he can withstand a whole lot of punches, but he takes too many punches to the head, and that's not good. And I can see it starting to wear on him now because he's very lethargic. It's like he puts himself to sleep, or he's walking around like a zombie in the ring, and he's only throwing the jab, like you said. He's only throwing the jab. He was only landing the jab because he threw a lot of right hands. It just, didn't land. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I don't think he needs to keep fighting. Because to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of fighters in New York in different clubs that I've been in that they really can't hold a conversation. And it's because of the consistent blows to the head. There was something else that you guys was talking about. But I don't know why y'all keep harping on Canelo. Don't you understand? He wants to go out the way he wants to go out, like Floyd did. Floyd went out the way he wanted to go out. It's nothing new. Muhammad Ali went out the way he wanted to go out. Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, rest in peace, they went out the way they wanted to go out. Thomas Hearns is lethargic now because he took so many blows to the head. So stop trying to make it seem like it's all about you and what you want. It's not. It's like you can accept his fate and let him go out the way he wants to go out, or shut the fuck up because you whining like bitches. And it don't make sense because you ain't got a dog in none of these fights. You ain't got a pony in neither one of these races. But you stay trying to make your point like you don't understand. This is what Canelo wants to do. He wants to go out like that. And shout out to Eric Edgar Berlanga. Let's go, baby. New York, baby. Oh, yeah, first of all, Berlanga is from New York. He might be Puerto Rican descent and he speaks Spanish, but he's from New York. Stop trying to push a bullshit-ass narrative. Anyway, let's go. Peace.
All right, Jay Swift, you the man. Appreciate you calling in. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and smash the thumbs up and subscribe. Right now we on 203,607 subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, go ahead and do so. Don't forget, as a YouTube member of The Boxing Voice or as a Patreon, you get to drop Angelo Leo a question. He'll be on the show in about another 30-something minutes. So if you haven't already taken advantage, do so. Make sure you put your name. Hey, it's Ness from Jersey, so that he knows where he's got all these fans coming in from. Looks like we got Kevin on a check-in. Kevin on X. Gotta unmute, Kevin. Slime Ball, $2. We know it's Devin on Usyk undercard. James Benitez, $5. Again, it's not a duck when better names were on the contract. Y'all made, I guess he meant y'all mad because it wasn't the name you want. Simple facts. Canelo never ducked. Okay. Kevin, moving on then, champion. Businessman. gotta unmute. Copy cool. You up next.
What's going on, champ? What's going on?
How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, man. Yesterday was a good fight, man. I mean, it just showed both of them. I don't know if they're back in contenders or anything like that. I just think that that they just show their caliber of fight, where they're at now. I think that they still have a long road in front of them. It shows that they got a little bit in a tank. Um, as I'm waiting to speak, I was just rewatching the fight, and I feel like round two definitely went to Hurd. He hurt him with a jab. I think 20 seconds left of the round, and then he hurt him at the end of the round also. So on top of that, he was just dominant. I think you got to watch that round, Ness. But it's interesting to see them two fight. I wish they would have fought in their earlier, and in their primes. Seeing them fight now kind of is disheartening. Those guys I was a fan. I was a big fan of Hurd back in the day. Still am, but just to see him fight like that is different. And he was working on a lot of things. I mean, that coming into the fight, that was like the big topic, right? He was going to fight more defensively, do more defensive things in the fight, because that's what he was known for, was just going out there being aggressor, and that's how he got caught. Versus I think Julian, right? Versus Williams, he got caught like that. Yeah, man. So I mean, good fight overall. I think that I'm okay with the draw, but it looked like Rosario won just solely because Hurd would kind of dominate the first half of the fight, first half of the round with a jab, and then Rosario will come back on the back end real aggressive, and with the combination punches and things like that. So again, it was a 50-50 fight. I can't. I'm trying to rewatch it to see if I could take a stance, But from here on out, I think that I would like to see either fighter, right? Because this is for either fighter, because I think they're in the same position. I don't think one is better than the other. I think from here on, I'd like to see like maybe a Gasha fight with them, maybe an Abreu fight, maybe a Hernandez. What's his name? Vlad Hernandez. I think those are fights that could be next for these guys as on their comeback trail, But and I think that due to the fact that Hurd was working on new things, it took away from the fight. It kind of made us vote against him. We just Hurd being the aggressor coming forward, and him, even from round one on the back foot, working off that jab, trying to take more defensive decisions, kind of took away from the fight a little bit, and away from the Jared Hurd we're used to
You
seeing.
may feel like it's your time,
But that's all I got. I appreciate it.
but it's not your time.
You the man, champ. You the man. Kevin, I see you trying you again.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ness. Good morning to you. Capital Kevin from Indiana. I didn't get to catch the fight last night, but I really wish Hurd would have won. I think it would have added mystique to the division, seeing as how he had a really big name, and maybe we could have put him in there with Andrade and Charlo, one of the Charlos, if either one of them comes back. What's this PBC coming back? Are they going to unify with DAZN, or I mean, what? I didn't catch that part. What's going on with that?
So PBC, it's rumored that Al Haymon is back, and that they're gonna have 4 to 5 dates in the back half of the year. They've given out some rumored fights and things like that.
Got you. The sport is so fragmented. I wish everybody would just go under DAZN, but I don't like their commentary. It's trash. I mean, I love the commentary from Top Rank, ESPN. I never liked Sergio Mora and some of those commentators over there. That's really what I didn't like. But if we could just get everybody under one band, and keep that price down, because we've been so disillusioned. First we heard no pay-per-view, then we got pay-per-view, and then the price is going up. I mean, it's crazy. So everybody needs to get under one roof if possible, if it makes sense, and everybody can get dates and keep these guys active. But shout out to PBC. We definitely need that David fight with Canelo. I don't know what's going on with that, but the sport lives on another day, brother. It lives on another day. I love the commentary from CYP, always coming in, regulating. I love that. So Ness, and you're always as entertaining as can be. So I love the show, and the sport lives on another day. I'm out.
Appreciate you. Dag, man, I'm so disappointed in this news.
What news?
The way these people do business, bro, it's like, there's no negotiating, you know what I mean? It's like take it or leave it.
Who, PBC?
Just people in general, not PBC or any one entity. I just got wind of a welterweight fight that isn't happening. And
Which one?
yeah, I'm saving that for my second show.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, hopefully that news doesn't break before then. Which it will. It's big news. It should. Someone should be able to, say something from here to then.
Damn. A fight that's not happening.
Tell me about it. Terrible. Trying you again, businessman.
Hey, Ness, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Hey, good morning. How you feeling, brother?
Cannot complain.
Hey, man. So, first let me start on the topic. I scored a 6-4-2 for Rosario too, but I mean, because I believe I gave her a lot of people gave him the second round, the first 3 rounds, but I didn't see that. I mean, he had his stick out, but that's pretty much it. I gave him 1-5, 1, 3, 5, and 9. But I thought Rosario did enough to win. But you know how this shit goes, man. The draws and shit. So, but that's what I really wanted to call in and talk to you about, man. This shit is crazy, man. It made my fucking night, and I think it'll make your day. So I was sitting at home watching the pro boxing shit. Me, the wifey, and the kids are eating dinner and watching pro box or whatever. And I just had turned on the podcast. I believe like the 6th round. So we didn't catch the intro. So out of nowhere, my son, 6 years old, my son busts out saying, "Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling." And Ness, I couldn't believe it, yo. So look, my girl goes like, "Yo, where did he learn that from?" I'm like, "Babe, it's my podcast. It's my podcast that I listen every day.
How old
7
is he?
days a week, 2 souls. Stop playing, man. 7 days a week, 2
Let's
souls.
go. Let's go.
So, like,
How old is your son?
yo, Ness, this shit made my whole night, man. Yo, it was hilarious, bro.
No, that's
Hey, yo,
hilarious.
keep up the good work, man. Keep up the work, man. I call in and listen every day, man. This is my shit, bro. I just wanted to tell you that. Hopefully, it made your day. It made my night. So,
Certainly,
hey, man. Shout out
man.
TBV.
Appreciate
Definitely,
you for
man.
the
Shout out
kind words,
TBV,
man.
man.
What? You got the smile on my face. That's crazy. This is why we trying to curse less, though, right? Because you're one of the fathers that listens to the show with their son, and I keep telling these guys, look, I am definitely the #1 culprit in cursing here, but you guys got to do better than me, man. Lord. But thank you for that. That definitely made my day. I'm glad I went back to you, brother.
Yeah, I was curious how
Yes. I was
old
sick
his
when I
son
couldn't
was.
get in at first. I'm like, damn, I need to tell him right now.
You said
Hey,
your son was
TBV,
6, right?
Shout out Raymond Ford. Yeah, 6 years old, man.
6 years
Yeah, that's
old.
funny.
That's
That's
amazing.
funny coming out of a 6-year-old mouth.
Salute, man. Salute. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Salute, man. Shout out TBV. Shout out Keystone Davis. Count out Raymond Ford, man.
All right. Marcos, man, how are you?
I'm alright, man. Tough couple days, but I'm good. What about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I cannot complain. Woke up this morning, right? That's the first blessing. So
The
other than
question
that,
is, Ness, who the hell is Killer Mel? That's the question.
hey yo, that was wild that you didn't know who Killer Mel was.
No idea.
Marcos
That's a girl?
Marcos is the biggest popular casual I've known in the content creator league. This guy is crazy. Killer Mel is like, I'm pretty sure she was a world champion. She's from New York City, bro. She's out of Gleason's.
A word?
Absolutely, bro. I'm
Okay,
pretty
well.
sure, like, bro, she's airtight with Heather Hardy, too. Like, she's some sort of Caribbean, too. Maybe Haitian. I cannot
I mean,
believe you
maybe if
don't
I
know
saw her
Killer Mel.
face,
You don't
but
even follow her either? That's
nah,
insane. That's wild.
I might. I don't know. I gotta look, but the name didn't. Nah, I didn't know what that was.
That was so
Now we're good.
random, too. I just happened to jump on your live, and they're asking you questions. And I'm like, the minute Ness jumps on Marco's live, they're asking him questions. And I'm like, look at this fucking casual. Oop, I curse. See what I'm saying? I'm like, look at this casual. He doesn't know who Killer Mel is. So I type it
I
like,
told you,
Marco the
man.
casual.
I thought that was a battle rapper. I'm like, with a name like
You
Killer
had
Mel,
me,
that's not.
listen. You had me cracking up. The fact that you thought she was a battle rapper, bro, I was on the other side in tears. Marco, you're hilarious, man. I got James Benitez with the $5 super chat. He says, can we get a Charlo doubleheader, Jamal versus Rosario and Big Mel versus Hurd? Didn't Hurd smack the taste out of Mel's mouth? You know, I was pushing for Hurd and Maul if Hurd could have got this win. I think these two just need to do it again. You know, we're in a rush to take this great fight off of Pro Box when they were the only one that gave them a network. Do the rematch on Pro Box. Let a true winner emerge and then move on. You know, you already putting both of these guys in big fights. Let them, you know, earn their way back. You know, I don't even think Maul, you know, maybe for her because of the thing, like I said, because of the backstory there. But for Rosario, I already said, you know, it would be good for, what's this kid's name? Elijah Garcia to get in there with Rosario. You know, that's a former world champion, giving him some experience. He's coming off that loss. But we got Adrian Clark on the show. What's going on, Adrian? I'm glad you jumped on. I was making these people wait for later on this afternoon, but I'm glad you jumped on so we could get it out before anyone else does. So you are the manager of Brian Norman Jr. and many others.
Jolene Mazzone is the manager of Brian Norman Jr. I'm the CEO of Fighters First Management. Just to clarify.
You are the CEO of Fighters First, and you work with Brian Norman, Senior and Junior. And you just notified me that you did receive an offer to face Boots Ennis in Philadelphia for a unification fight.
I'm confused. I saw an interview that he did earlier. Norman Senior sent it to me, and he's saying that we turned down the fight, and I'm just. And as you know me, I don't mind interviews talking about projects or whatever, but talking about the details of fights is not something that I do. But I was confused on why he would say that we turned down the fight and we're still in the middle of negotiations. I know Norman Jr. and Senior both feel a way about that because again, they sent the offer, I believe, Friday or something of that nature. We countered back and we're waiting to hear for a counter. And the first thing that we hear is Jerron Ennis saying that we turned down the fight when we've never said no from our end. To my knowledge, we are still in negotiations for the fight. So sometimes I just wish that guys would just stay off of, especially the fighters. Like let the fans talk about, who's doing what. But for him to say that we turned down a fight that we're still in negotiations for, like, come on, man, like stay off of stay off of the internet and interviews until things are done.
But from what you and I have been discussing, it sounds like you guys are totally willing to go to Philadelphia and have Brian face Boots in his hometown.
I mean, we went to we went to San Diego and fought Santiago in his hometown. It's something that, again, we work for Brian Norman Jr. So we fill the offers as his representatives and we give our opinions or our feelings, our thoughts, our expertise on things. But Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Sr. make the final decision on things. And Jr. wants to run it with whoever has a belt. From our standpoint, of course, the money has to make sense because, yeah, we are going to to Philly or whatever. If that even happens, I don't know what's going to happen now that he's put out that the fight is not going to happen. But Brian Norman Jr. is going to fight anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter what city or state or country. Like he wants to fight, he wants to unify. So that's what it is.
What was the potential date? Because I know that Boots had a rumored November return, and so does Norman. He's rumored to be returning in Norfolk.
And with that, that's not my place to talk about the detailed dates and numbers and stuff of that nature. There was an offer sent. That was what I told you in the text. Like I don't know why he's saying that we said no to the fight. There was an offer that sent, and we're supposed to be in the middle of negotiations. So to put something out there that's false, that Brian didn't take the fight or we didn't accept the fight, that's false. We're in the middle of negotiations. Now, if he had a relationship, whether with his management or with his promotion or his team, he would have known that, all right, we're still in negotiations, so I can't really speak on that, but no one turned down anything.
So is this something that makes you guys now go back over to their side to see what's going on, like to kind of dig a little and be like, what is this? Is this still happening?
By my account, not to interrupt your question, but by my account, Jolene is the best manager in the sport of boxing. She's the one that knows the promotional space better than any other boxing manager because she comes from the promotional space, being a matchmaker for almost 25 years. So Jolene is going to handle this accordingly, and then Brian is with Top Rank. So I mean, there's a negotiation process that goes on that has to be through and through on both sides, and both sides have to come to an agreement. I know the fans want to see the fight. They don't want the business to get in the way, but it's people like myself, people like Jolene, and and other people that are in between that get in the way of certain things happening because business wise, man, it has to make sense. You just can't throw in the gloves and just get in the ring for whatever, wherever, with whoever. It has to make sense on both sides. So that's where we're at. And Jolene is going to do what she does and make sure that things go right. And it's on them at this point. Their client was the one that came out and said that we turned down a fight that we didn't turn down. So, yeah.
I mean, how confident are you can get it over the line for the potential date that was sent originally in the contract?
Well, I mean, now, hell, I don't, I honestly can't answer that question, man. Like Brian wants to fight, so Jolene's going to do her job to look to make the fight happen and do what makes sense. But at this point, if things don't go down, it ain't on Brian Norman Jr. It ain't on Brian Norman Sr. It ain't on Jolie Mazzone. It's on their side if something doesn't go down. But the truism of it is they both are going to fight, whether it's this year or next year. They're going to fight, and this really helps spin and heightens everything. Now that he comes out and says something that's false, I'm pretty sure Brian is going to either talk to y'all or talk to somebody else about him not turning down whatever, and he's ready to fight. So it gets the wheels spinning, but negotiations are tricky in any sport, whether it's basketball, football, or boxing. Things are tricky, and things could die out or could build up based off of anything happening. So I just hope, after this, everyone can kind of just go to their corners and let their teams work and see if we can get this done. So I got respect for every fighter that steps in, but don't talk what you don't know. Like there was no Brian didn't turn down no fight.
Again, I don't want any details. Just trying to figure out a way you can answer this. Was there a venue in place? And I only ask because he being Boots did 14,100 people. That's a lot of people cheering against Brian Norman. So this is also a unification. So will there be a bigger venue? I don't need you to give me the location, but is it we going back to where he just fought, or it's a bigger venue because it's a unification bout and it means more tickets will be sold?
I can't answer that because again, they sent an offer on, do you guys want to fight Jaron Ennis? Do you want to fight Jaron Ennis? And of course, a dollar amount behind it. And Brian said he wanted to run it, but negotiations had to happen. So it's like preliminary stages of negotiating. We didn't go into deep detail on it's going to be here on this date, and you know what I'm saying, with this we didn't go into that deep. It's just a preliminary offer of want to take the fight or not, and it's something that Brian wanted to do.
Well, those are all the questions, Adrian. Let me get Brian on before my next interview. I got Angelo Leo scheduled in a bit. But if there's anything you want to add in closing, please do. If not, any social media or at least the company's Fighters First.
Go pick up the book, the second edition of Protect Yourself at All Times. Go pick up the book on Amazon, and the audio book will be available on Audible. Any fighter, any father, anyone that's in the business side of boxing that wants to know about the background of the business that we're in, that want to get some tidbits on paying your taxes, planning for retirement, knowing what you're signing, things of that nature, man. Protect Yourself at All Times. Second edition is out on Amazon and will be available on Audible soon. So definitely go pick that up to learn about the business and how you should move in business.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of people need that. They be getting into some strange contracts. But Adrian, thank you so much. Stick around,
Always.
ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get Brian Norman Sr. on the show to get it firsthand. And if we can, we're going to squeeze in Phil LaGreco because I'm tired of these fuckers. Ugh, I can't help but curse, bro.
Dirty potty mouth.
I know. I'm tired of people
We should
putting
do
out
a-
this
we should do
fake
a swear
news.
jar.
Keyshawn is not fighting Lucas Body, so we're going to get his promoter on to dead these damn rumors of Keyshawn and Lucas Body. But only if we could fit him in, because we do got champion Angelo Leo jumping on at 8:30 Pacific Standard
Featherweight.
Time, which is 13 minutes away. But we got
I
13
know
minutes
he
to
is.
rock out with Brian Norman Sr. Brian, how are you, brother?
Hey, what's up, boss? What's up, man? Everything good?
Oh man, you sound down. You don't
What's
like
up?
what's being said, my man. You don't got the right tone. What's going on?
Nah, it's not about I don't like. Well, the one thing I don't like what's being said. You hear me well? Next.
Perfect.
All right. The one thing I don't like about what's being said is one thing I don't like about what's being said is the lies that's being told, bro. It was how Andy. I get. Did you see the YSM interview?
I did not.
Okay, well, yeah, Jamil, shout out to YSM, my boy Jamil. He called me about the whole situation, and he broke it this morning to me and let me know that he was like, because he already knew. He knew the offer was made. Jamil knew the offer was made because I just spoke with him. He was like, hey, did you know anything about that? Because as far as I know, Boza didn't want to fight. So Jamil called me this morning. He was like, I just want you to know, we did an interview with Boots, and Boots talked about the fight. Well, all right, what did he say then? Because I was like, shit. And I told him what was still going on. I was like, yeah, nah, because I didn't talk to Jamil after the first time. And I say, nah, because, we counter offered and they came back with a counter offer or whatever. I said, so we don't know shit. But I talked to Bozy Sunday, and Bozy told me that they didn't want to fight right now. Bozy told me that they wanted to go undisputed. They wanted to pick up a belt, Same thing we had planned before, between me and Bozy. So I was like, nah. So he told me he don't even want to fight right now. So I was like, that shit dead anyway. I told my team that shit was dead. I was like, nah. Even when we made the counter offer, I said, I can tell y'all now that shit dead because Bozy didn't even fucking know about it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, really? They was like, well, what the hell is Matchroom doing? That's what, our management and shit was saying or whatever. But bottom line was, I see now what happened was it was just a miscommunication or a lack of communication between the father and the son. And that does occasionally happen because Jerron is a grown man, and Matchroom can call Jerron and ask him, hey, do you want this? And he can simply say yes. You know what I mean? And they made the offer, and that's what happened. Bottom line is, bruh, we want to fight. I've said many times before, my son said it before, we wouldn't take it as disrespect for the fight. Yeah, we cool, everything is good or whatever, but at this point, the way it's brewing and the way the shit been talking, we want to fight. You didn't hear the interview, but you will hear it from YSM. So y'all go to YSM, y'all check out the interview from Jerron and he dropped it this morning whenever you get a chance. Now, if you can go look at it, you'll see the smugness. And I just say no disrespect towards the nigga, but I gotta say it. The smugness that the nigga said it in was like, what? He said they turned it down. And you have to watch him. and watch the smugness of what I'm looking at. Like you saying it smugly and you telling a motherfucking lie or a falsehood, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that, bro. We didn't turn down no fight. We want to fight. We said we will fight. We want to fight. Nobody else is trying to unify. Of course, I want to be long-winded here to get you another question in. Nobody wants to. I mean, nobody wants to unify, meaning Stanionis or Barrios. But we are willing to unify, and the only two that's willing to fight is Boots and B. So to me, that fight has to happen.
So do you think that there's any way that wires got crossed and it came out as if he assumed or thought you guys might have not wanted to fight, or you think he's just
Absolutely.
lying?
No, I don't think he lying. No, hell no. I told YSM everything. I know I don't think he lying. I don't think he a liar. I know his dad is not a liar. That's why I know the wires even cross, even with that situation. No, I don't think either one of them is a liar. I don't think any one of them is making up shit. You know what I'm saying? None of that. No, I think it was just wires got crossed. But I think as far as Matchroom or whoever else, I think somebody intentionally did tell him that though. I do believe that. But it's kind of funny that he came out with it because the interview was done Tuesday. The offer was made Saturday. We counter offered Sunday. They gave us a counter offer Tuesday, and the interview was done Tuesday. How is that? So I don't know what that's about. That's a little bit confusing to me.
So let me ask: were you because we had Adrian Clark on and he made it seem as if the initial offer that came through, you and your son said run it, was his words, but he said he
From a
stepped
business
in
standpoint, right? Right.
and then but now you get a counter. Now
Right.
you guys counter, they counter, your counter.
Right.
So I'm assuming you definitely said run it even more because it was better than the first time.
Yeah, but you got to think when the next counter offer came in, and my thoughts, Boots and Bozy didn't even know about the initial offer, so it was all bullshit and it was all matchroom talking. So there was no running on that one because I was like, nah, they didn't even fucking talk to him. It sounded like matchroom just trying to make a fight. They trying to make a fight behind, if they're back, then tell them, look, we got this fight, and make them the offer after they make the fight. That's what we thought. That's what I was thinking. So it wasn't a run it after the next one, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
But
it wasn't like that.
But you accepted the second counter, or you assumed it
There
wasn't
was
real?
we here. There was no talking about it. There was no nothing to talk about because I had already talked to Bozy personally Sunday. After we talking minutes after we made the first count offer. I called Bozy. I talked to Jolene. She made the count offer. She called who she needed to call. She made the count offer. And I was like, well, I said, well, maybe I need to call Bozy. She was like, well, do what you feel or whatever. So I said, you know what, it's just something on my mind. I said, fuck it, let me call Bozy. So I called Bozy Sunday, right after I got the phone up. And I talked to him, and he had no clue what the fuck I was talking about. He had no clue about the offer.
So have you reached out to Bozy now to be like, what?
No. This shit, I woke up to this shit. I woke up to it. YSM hit me before I woke up. He was like, hit me back. He was like, yo, and that's who gave me, you know what I'm saying? That's who gave me the dime and told me that Boots did the interview and he said this and he said that. And I was like, what the fuck? So when I watched the interview, and I was like, and I was trying to dissect the interview to make sure he said what he said at the end. And he was like, they turned it down. They turned it down. Nigga, what the fuck? No, we did not. Nigga, we were running with you in the alley. No, we ain't turned shit down. No smoke duck. We've told y'all that. The fans can make up what they want to make up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they better step. No smoke duck. Ain't no fucking narratives. Ain't no nothing. We want the fight. We want to fight the best. My son is the youngest champion in boxing today. This is another chance for him to be great. This is a chance for him to be a unified two-time world champion at 23 years old. That's huge. That's major. Why the fuck would we turn that down? No, we want that.
We should get Bozy on here right now. Just figure this out.
I've been hitting him up, see what happens. But what do you think happens now? Because you do have a rumored date on the Keyshawn card.
Man, fuck that date. That's just my opinion. Hey, look, again, I'm not as diplomatic as AC. You know, that's my boy. You know, he's he the man. You feel me? Fuck all that. I ain't that diplomatic. I ain't that quiet. I ain't that motherfucking humble as AC. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that date. That's how I feel about it. And I can speak for my son. Fuck that date. Fuck that date. We Boost Ennis.
Okay. Now, again, according to what we spoke with Adrian, you guys were willing to go to Philadelphia for this fight. Oh shit, he froze up. He got a few calls in.
I'm not froze. I'm not froze. I'm not froze. One second. Hold on 1 second. This is I'm sorry.
That's Bozy right there.
No, it's not Bozy. No, what did you just ask me next? I'm sorry.
You guys were willing to go to Philadelphia based off the contract.
Still.
This fight was going to be in Philly.
Still, all of it. Still, nothing changed. Nothing changed about what we said. Nothing changed about what we willing to do. We will go there. We will go there. Shit, we'll go there whenever. We will fight him in his hometown. We said what we said. Now what AC did say is it has to make sense. Like, of course, it did make sense for what they said, and that's what AC was saying. That's why they stepped in. We was like running no matter fucking what, but it did make sense for the shit they was talking, especially what we was giving. That's what management. That's what management is for. That's what management is for, and
you blowing up over there.
I'm always blowing up, and that's what management is for, and that's why we got management, and we glad they did step in and did what they did and said what they said, and you know what I mean, because a lot of time they got to protect the fighter from themselves. You know what I'm saying? We'll do some stupid shit just because of the fact that we want some smoke. You know what I mean? But now we really do want that smoke. We want that fight. I don't see no other fight that makes more sense at this point, being the fact that I don't think Barrios is trying to fight us. I don't think Barrios is trying to fight him. I don't think Stanionis is trying to fight us. I don't think Stanionis is trying to fight him. Those are the champions. You have two people that are determined to that are dead set on going undisputed, and this is how you prove the best being the best, and this is what we want to do.
According to Lance Pugmire, Wednesday, Hearn wrote in a text, "We made significant offers to Ennis, fellow welterweight champions." Asked about the official connected to Top Rank's newly crowned WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman, too late and not enough. So
who said that? Who said too late, not enough? What you mean?
Eddie Hearn.
He said too late and not enough. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it sound like he ducking smoke, man. The fuck you mean too late? There's no listen to me. Brian is still the WBO champion. Boost is still the IBF champion. We are still 3 months out of that set November date. I don't understand what the fuck we on this even talking about. This could be done. I mean, we're talking about it because, that's what's going out, but this fight could still be made. This fight could still be had. This is not something that's dead in the water. It's not something that's far-fetched. Like this could be done. You know what I mean? That's the problem with all the fans and all the fanfare and shit. They like to say, "Oh, they're trying to." No, we're not pricing ourselves out. We made a very, very fair counter offer, and it wasn't too much off of their counter offer. Let's get the fucking fight happen. Let's make the fight cracking. Like, we got plenty of time to make the fight. Yay. The answer is yay. Publicly, the answer is yay. We will fight Boost Ennis in Philadelphia. The answer is yay. We're going to take all the fucking negatives behind that. We will fight him in Philadelphia. I know my management is probably fucking, screaming at me. I don't know if they're telling me to shut the fuck up about something, but that's whatever.
Well, those are all our questions, champ. I did have Angelo Leo scheduled, so I slid you and Adrian in. I do appreciate you giving us that news. And I hope you guys can work it out, man. It'll be a great fight. And shout out to you and your son for willing to go to his backyard. Because last time out, he definitely had 14,000 people. This will be a unification, so there will be more people there.
And we want to go in there and we want to upset 14,000 people. We like to do that kind of shit.
Let's get it. Thank you, Coach.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
All
Okay.
right. Let me jump on with Angelo
Yes.
Leo. Angelo, how are you? Champ! Two-time
Champ.
champion Angelo Leo.
Two
How are you
times.
feeling, brother?
I felt great. I felt so dream come true really to become a two-time world champion.
Yeah, man. An amazing performance, obviously. Um, I know you envision winning and becoming a champion once again, especially after losing that first world title, but could you ever imagine it would have been the way that it was in your hometown on, national television and a knockout punch like that, bro? That has to be, a dream come true.
It really is. I knew I was gonna get the win. I knew I wasn't gonna be denied that night, but I didn't think it was gonna be in that type of fashion.
Now, what was it about Ronaldo that gave you the inclination you would get the win? I certainly was picking you over here, and people did not believe me. But for me, I felt that, you're straighter with your punches, and he's a little wider with his. But what was it for you?
Um, that being one of them, but I also think that his defense was a little leaky, and we planned on shooting in between his shots.
Now, how much do you credit, I guess, your activity? Not a lot of fighters on your level would be willing to be a former champion, go back to pro box, start at ground zero, take those tough fights. But those fights obviously put you in this situation, and now you're a world champion 3-4 fights later. How much do you attest going back and starting all over and getting it from the bottom with Pro Box to your, newfound championship?
Yeah. No, I just think I think it's just a showing of my dedication to the sport, my passion for the sport, the love I have for it, and it showed. I've always stuck through it. I always stuck to it. Despite that 2 year layoff, I was always in the gym, training and all that. And that ought to tell you, how much I really enjoy the sport. And those titles were always on my mind to become a two-time world champion, to win more than two titles. I want to do as much as I possibly can in my career, and get those titles. But yeah, I never lost my drive and my motivation to become a world champion.
Nah, man, you can tell. Obviously, with me being in Vegas, I've gotten to see you spar, and I was in, pro box for one of your live fights, and you just seen the hunger in you, man. And I'm very happy that you were able to, have it play out the way that you did. That being said, we spoke to Gary Jonas. He did tell us that Top Rank has 2 options on you, so you're now going to be fighting most likely on ESPN. Have they told you if you're going back to, your hometown? Because it looked like you had a lot of people there. And do you know how many tickets were ultimately sold altogether?
Yeah. No, I don't know ultimately how many tickets were sold. But I know it was high though, because I've heard some of my friends, some locals from Albuquerque tell me that it was one of the biggest shows that they had at Tingley. I don't think, because I think Chavez Jr. and a local fighter named Ray Sanchez fought there back like in 2007, 2008, and they told me that it wasn't even that packed, when he fought. So that'll tell you like the magnitude of how big that event was.
For sure, man. Speaking of the event, you had a lot of locals. Obviously, Brian Mendoza came out. A lot of people came out to support you. What was that like? And were you expecting the love from your hometown, the way that you got it? Yeah, I'm really curious because this is your first time having such a big event there.
Yeah. It was a lot different than the last time I fought in my hometown, which was 9 years ago, I believe. This time around, the crowd was crazy. It was really backing me. Going into this fight, I didn't know how the crowd would react. I hadn't fought there in 9 years. I knew I have a lot of fans out there, but I didn't know they're gonna show up like that. And to hear them chanting my name as I fought, just kind of riled me up and gave me that extra boost that I needed. Um, and the crowd in Albuquerque is crazy. You know, they're a rowdy crowd, and they really brought the energy that night.
Absolutely, man. So we got a couple questions from the people here. The first one is from Octo. He says, "Greetings, Leo. Congratulations on the win. Talk about the type of music you're into. Who are some of your favorite artists? And give me one movie I should watch."
Ooh, okay, that's a good question.
I know. I love his questions because they're never boxing. He's always wants to know about the fighter.
Yeah, yeah. So to start off with, I like a lot of hip hop. You know, I'm a big hip hop head. Um, I think when I was a little younger, I was more into like old school. Nowadays, I listen to a little bit of everything, hip hop wise. But I like Mexican music as well, corridos, mariachi, um, some '80s music, like some rock music from the '80s. But for the most part, I like hip hop. And then the movie I would recommend would probably be A Bronx Tale.
Love that movie.
Yeah,
Wow, that's dope. What made you? How'd you get put on that movie? Because you're a lot younger than me. That's an old
yeah, yeah.
movie.
So basically, my dad really, because my dad has all those like gangster movies from back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he put me on like Bronx Tale, Goodfellas, The Untouchables, like Scarface and
nice.
all that. Yeah.
Dope, dope. I got that dude they hate. He says Chalino or Raymond Ayala.
Mm, I like Chalino.
Okay. Pristine Sports Networks from Virginia Beach. What has it been like training with the great Shakur Stevenson?
Oh, it was cool. It was cool. We sparred last year. We did like five rounds, I believe. But he knows what he's doing in there. And I think he doesn't get a lot of credit for his ring IQ. But when you're in there with him, it's different. Um, yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and he knows what he's doing in there.
James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas. Any discussions on the Fulton rematch, or have you moved on from that possibility? Before you answer that, I just want to say this came up a lot. We do a daily show here. People were like, oh, he should rematch Fulton. I personally feel Fulton needs to do something. Like, why should you just offer him a title shot off of a loss? Like, he needs to go ahead and get back active the way that you had to get back active. Or do you feel, no, I want that get back, so I don't care. I'll take him any point of his career.
Yeah. Um, do I want that rematch? Yeah, I would want that rematch because I know what I got. I know I got the goods to beat him. But if it comes, it comes. I think, like you said, I think he should get a few more wins under his belt. 126. I'm the champion, so get a few more wins, and then we could talk.
Post fight, you did mention champions. I think the most dangerous is Rafael Espinoza because of the height and the distance and the reach that he gets. But, in boxing, people seem to say that the shorter fighter has the advantage over the taller fighter because you can get on the inside. Do you find it as an advantage or the disadvantage facing taller fighters?
Honestly, I thrive off of taller fighters, and I've always done good with tall fighters in my career. Even in the amateurs, I was doing good in the amateurs with taller fighters. Um, I think it's all it depends on styles, because like I know the featherweight division, it has a very drastic height difference as far as champions. I mean, you got Nate Ball who's only 5'2", and then you got Rafael Espinosa that's 6'1", but they're both champions. They're both good fighters. So I just think it comes down to your style, and how you cope with their movement. If you could get in your footwork and things like that.
Don't forget Ray Vargas is the WBC champion. He's 5'10" as well. But Brandon Figueroa is the interim champion. He's recently kind of moved or relocated or definitely been training out here at Pound for Pound Gym. Have you gotten a spar with him, and is that a fight that you look forward to, or would you rather him be elevated to full champion or have him face Ray Vargas and be full champion before you guys actually meet?
Yeah. To answer the first question, no, I haven't. I've heard he's out here, but I haven't sparred him. I think I would like for him to fight Ray Vargas and then me fight the winner of that, because I'm not really I'm not too big of a fan of those interim belts. Just because it caused a lot of confusion amongst the boxing fans and like casuals and all that. So I like him to fight Ray Vargas first. But I do, if not, then I would like that fight with Ray Vargas to win the actual WBC belt.
And if you had it your way, would it be Vargas over Espinoza or Espinoza over Vargas?
If I had it my way, I would like Ray Vargas.
Is it because of the WBC belt and you being Mexican, or is it because you know you can take him, you see him as an older fighter, you can take him apart at this moment in his career and in your career?
Both. I think both. I think like you said, he's an older fighter. He's had a loss already, a recent loss. But I also like the WBC. I've always been a big fan of the WBC belt ever since I was a kid. So yeah, I think.
What was it about that belt? Like, what's your first, I guess, memory as a child to make you want that belt?
Yeah, I just see like a lot of my all-time favorite fighters. They had that belt, like Sugar Ray Leonard. I've seen you know, I think Duran had it as well. But I just see a lot of like old school fighters that goes way back to the 80s and like the golden era of boxing, as they say. And I just like the way it looks, green and gold. It has a lot of history behind it.
So, Champ, I want to hope that you watched both of Nick Ball's fights with Ray Vargas and then with Raymond Ford. He's going to have another fight. It's a tune-up, well-deserved. He's went through 2 tough fights, so he's going to be fighting Ronnie Rios. You're with Top Rank now, kind of, sort of. Hopefully that means that you can get some turkey out of Sheik Love and get this Nick Ball fight. But do you think you can beat him? And are you worried that he is a cheater? And I don't mean drug cheat, but obviously, I don't know. Do you think he's a cheater too? Like, I mean, I don't mean drug cheat. I mean in the ring. Do you find him to be a dirty fighter?
I don't think he's much of a dirty fighter. I think he's just rough in there. He goes in there. He's short, so he's gonna muscle you around and throw you around. I think that's a very possible fight in the future. He did have a tough time. It was a close fight with Raymond Ford. So I do think he's got some errors, some mistakes we could capitalize on.
For sure, for sure. I need you to beat that dude. I think he's dirty, bro. I mean, I didn't like how he fought Ray Vargas. He was muscling him and body slamming and hitting behind the head. Then it was pretty much the same thing with Raymond Ford, slightly less. But I need you to beat this guy. And remember that we are losing. I think we're 8-0. I mean, 0-8 Americans versus in all these Saudi cards. So whenever that fight comes, take it, but understand he's going to be dirty, bro. He's going to put forearms on your neck, and he's going to want to wrestle and all that illegal shit.
Push your head down.
Push your head down. Yeah, I mean, I need you to beat the hell out of this guy, all right?
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm gonna get back to these people here. We got Rue in the 504. No, excuse me. James Valdez, any discussion? We talked about that. Rue in the 504. Tell us about the journey from the Fulton loss to Pro Box to now being a world champion 2 times.
Yeah, I think it was a journey that I needed. You know, it was a lot of maturity in that time being. I learned a lot about myself, and yeah, I had that 2-year layoff where I didn't fight, the inactivity. A lot of people would break a lot of people, but it kind of motivated me to do better, to become stronger, and to work harder. Um, and then I separated from Mayweather Promotions, and then I was a free agent, and that sometimes that could take a little while to do some shop. I was doing some shopping with other promoters, and that could take a while. That process, getting a contract and all that ready takes some time. So 2 years went by, but I got that Pro Box contract, and I was able to get 3 fights in 5 months right away. So that made up for some lost time that during those 2 years. And then we got this offer with to fight Venado, and of course I was gonna jump on it. It's a world title fight in my hometown, and I wasn't gonna be denied. I was like everything all that time to think during those 2 years, I put it all into this fight, and it showed.
Champ, now, before that Pro Box offer, didn't Top Rank attempt to sign you and you didn't accept the offer, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Shout out to you.
Yeah. I just think, shout out to Top Rank as well. We're still in good standing. I'm working with them right now. So I just think it wasn't
it wasn't the time.
It wasn't the right time. I believe it wasn't the right time, but we're in good standing with Top Rank, so I think everything worked out. And I look forward to working with Pro Box and Top Rank in the future.
Hey, Champ, I got a question for you. This is King Amin from the championship rounds. First of all, congratulations to you, and I got a question for you. For a young fighter like Jared Anderson, who just suffered his first loss, it wasn't a championship bout, but it was a pretty big bout. Now that you're over at Top Rank and you explain the journey that you had, what could you offer? What advice or encouraging words could you offer a young fighter like him that's kind of afraid to go through that rebuild and retooling process?
I just think you gotta not think about the loss too much. You can't take it too much to heart. Go in there and just oh my bad. You can't take the loss to heart really, because that's how you get yourself down, and your confidence will go down. So you gotta go in there and you just gotta move forward.
Speaking of moving forward, I got a question right quick, Ness. How I might have missed it, but we know Robisi Ramirez is over there at Top Rank as well, and we know Top Rank is very high on Shushu Carrington. Are those 2 fights, either of those 2 fights, that you would be interested in if they could make them hometown fights or otherwise?
Yeah, of course. They're both great fighters. I've done sparring with Shushu. I've actually seen him yesterday at the gym. He dapped me up and all that, congratulated me. But yeah, I would like a fight with Shushu if it presents itself, or Robisi.
I mean, you've been sparring those guys for years, though, right? At least Robisi, he's been out here for years.
He has, but ironically, we've never met up in the ring or sparred.
Wow, so you don't go to Salas?
I have before, but I never met up with them. I've sparred Hector Garcia at Salas, and that's about it.
Nice. I mean, any more before I go back to the people?
Nah, go ahead. I just want to ask those questions.
You got
and just real quick, my bad. Shout out to Albuquerque. Who is it? The madman, was it Johnny Tapios from
Yeah,
Albuquerque?
Johnny Tapios.
Okay.
Shout out to Hector Munoz though too. He's from Albuquerque and he's coaching out there. And he was he didn't win the world title, but he's got in a lot of big fights. He fought Charlo, I think, and Danny Garcia and a bunch of others.
Yeah, I think he fought Fredo and Gulo too.
We got Toledo Treese in Ohio. Do you think that referee did a bad job during your fight, and will you take a fight over in Japan to get ready for Inoue if he comes to your division?
Yeah, I think the referee. I didn't really. A lot of people didn't really care for the referee that fight, and I don't think he did a best of a job for that fight. And I think I would hold camp out here in the States for an Inoue fight.
We got Ice Trimble. Hey, champ, saw you was in a great shape. What kind of road work did you put in last camp to provide you with that output?
I think running the mountains a lot because we held camp out there in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is high elevation, and I think that's the reason of my conditioning. Also, we did a lot of running. We did a lot of sprints, so that could be the reason.
Dwayne in the DMV says, Felicidades on your win, champ. Asa, aside from unifying at 126 and perhaps maybe undisputed, do you see yourself going to 130 in the future to become a three-weight world champion? Thanks.
Yeah, eventually I do plan on going to 130, but not anytime soon. I'll make 126 pounds pretty comfortably right now, and I plan on staying here for a few years.
Scotty Dippin is a.k.a. Chris from Philly. Congrats, champ. We typically hear of the pressure a champ feels defending a title at home. But how did it feel to reach the top of the mountain again and become a two-time, two-division world champion in front of your home crowd in your first fight there in almost a decade? I'm sure it felt great, but did you feel any pressure? And if so, how'd you deal with it?
Yeah, of course there was some pressure. Like you said, it was a world title fight in my hometown. So a lot of things were running through my mind, but ultimately, I had one goal in mind, and that was to win that world title. To win that world title, to go in there, block out the crowd, even though it was there, just take it with a grain of salt, and win. And win. That was my main thing. I put everything into my training. I made sure, like, in training, I looked good. Everything I did was on point during training, and I knew it was going to translate into my fight. So, from my training camp, I knew that I was going to win just because how hard I was training, how I was looking and sparring and all that. So I had that confidence going into that fight that I was going to win.
I got Des from Maryland. Was that hook that you slept Venado with something that you and your team saw beforehand? Also, what champion do you want to unify with first?
Yeah. To answer the first question, that hook was something that I worked on. We worked in during camp. We did different scenarios, and it paid off. It paid off. I worked it in the gym and outside the gym as well. And to unify the division, I would like either Ray Vargas or Rafael Espinosa.
We got, I think, Amauri. Congratulations on your win, champ. Given your short amateur career, from what I saw on BoxRec, how did you know it was time to take the step to go pro? But BoxRec doesn't show your full amateur career, so you might want to let us know how many fights you had total.
Yeah, so I had like around 70 amateur fights. And I turned pro when I was 18 years old. And really, it wasn't like, if I was ready or not. They kind of just told me, hey, you're 18 years old, time to hit the pros.
Mr. Putin says, were you offered any other title shot or big fights before taking the Venado Lopez fight?
No, actually, I was offered that title fight before I fought Baez, and
Oh wow.
they told me their managers told me that that if I win, if I take care of Baez, Venalo will be yours.
Nice. How'd that feel that it was true? Like, cause people say things don't mean this ends up happening, but that
Yeah,
really came true for you.
yeah. I just think I think there's like a little backstory behind the way the fight got made, and
Well, give
basically
us
one
give
of
us
my
that story.
okay, so basically, um, we seen Venalo's manager. Hold up, give me 1 second. Dad, 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 can you take him downstairs? Dad, can you take him downstairs? I can't focus. Okay, um, just the way that that fight was made. Uh, Vidal's manager was we met up with them at a I think a fight, and he I asked him if you give me the opportunity to fight Vinalo, and he said yeah we'll go ahead and do that. He said just get a few fights, and then Vinalo will be yours. And then my friend to the side of me was like, you give us your word, and he's like, yeah, well, I give you my word. And then ever since then, like my friend would see him at different fights, at different events, and all that, and he would just kind of like I guess press him. You could say, um, you gave us your word. You gave us your word. Don't forget. And you know. Hector was like, yeah, I got you guys. Don't worry about it. And he came through with his word after that bias fight. He messaged me before the bias fight, he messaged me on Instagram saying that they're looking for a fight for Venalo, and and they're like, we would like to fight you because I gave your friend my word, and I was like, okay. He's like, get past Baez, and he's yours. And so I did that, and he kept his word.
That's amazing, man. Usually don't, you know, you usually don't hear good stories like that in the sport. We got Elias. Who would you like to unify with, champ? You've answered that already. James in Atlanta says, I'm going to keep it real. These fans are so fake. In this community, everyone was screaming Lopez, and I told these dudes you were going to ice him. My question is, after leaving PBC and before you got to Pro Box, did the thought of retiring cross your mind? And if so, who was in your corner to help you refocus, champ? Keep stopping these dudes. Shoo can't F with you.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't have no thought of retiring, to be honest. I was still young after that the whole thing with PPC and like the 2 year layoff. Um, I always stayed level headed and always wanted to become a world champion. Retirement was never on my mind because I'm still young. I'm only 30, but at the time I was like 20, 27, 28, and I was like, I got plenty of time for this, and I got plenty of room to grow. Um, yeah, that's about it. What was the other question?
That's it. We got another one from BP from Bulgaria. Big up, champ. I was counting on you and was sure you were going to get the win after watching your Pro Box performances. Congratulations. Keep up the determination and discipline high. What is your biggest inspiration? Is it another athlete or something else that drives you forward?
My biggest inspiration, uh, I think it's other athletes. Um, I think I've always been like real inspirational ever since I was a kid. So, seeing like fighters that I look up to, I wanted to be like them. And I seen like Oscar De La Hoya winning his world titles because Oscar De La Hoya back when I was a kid was the real deal. So I seen Oscar De La Hoya, Marco Antonio Barrera, um, Floyd Mayweather, all of them. I wanted to be like them. So I think that's where a lot of my inspiration came from. and just being a world champion, always kind of excited me.
All right. I got Hernan from Dallas. Congrats on the victory, champ. You beat one of my favorite fighters and you gained a fan. What champion at 126 would you like to fight? You said that already.
Yeah.
We got Malcolm in New York City. Congrats on the win. And I did not think you would pull it off, but you won a fan in me. In this sport, which Ness has called out, a lot of Mexican fans lean towards what they call real Mexicans and not those born in the U.S. Who do you claim? Excuse me. Who they don't claim. That's what you. What's your thoughts on these type of fans, and does it bother you in any way?
No, I don't. It doesn't bother me, but I see what he's talking about. Like, but at the end of the day, I'm Mexican American. Um, I got Mexican blood. So I know a lot of Mexicans that do support me a lot. From Mexico, and I got a lot of fans that are Mexican American that support me. So it's all love from on this side. I just go and do what I do, and that's to put on great shows for the fans, whether they're Mexican American, or whatever.
For sure. I got Luis Lopez look bigger than you. This is actually coming from Maj Media Channel. Luis Lopez looked bigger than you. Did his size give you any problems? And were you surprised you got the KO?
Yeah. Nah, I don't think his size gave me any issues. I knew he was gonna come in at 126, and then there's a whole rehydration clause with the IBF, so I know we are gonna be the equal weight. And what was the other question he had?
Were you surprised with the knockout?
A little bit, a little bit. My goal in that fight was just to go in there and win, whether it was decision. But I knew I had the power, because we were working on my power, and I was hurting the sparring partners and all that. So I knew I had the power to hurt him, but I didn't know I didn't know it was gonna be like in that type of fashion.
Speaking of power, did his power, whether it was the beginning of the fight or at any point, did it bother you at all, or did you take the punch and was like, all right, that wasn't as bad as I thought? How did you feel, or how did you respond to that initially?
Yeah, no, I felt his power. He definitely has some power in his punch, but it was nothing I hadn't seen, or nothing I never felt.
Well, those are all the questions. Leo, I want to thank you, obviously, for coming on, man. Congratulations again on the big win. Hope you and your family enjoy this time off, and we can't wait to get you back, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate everything.
All right, brother. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Angelo Leo, your two-time IBF champion. Yo, what's up?
What's good, man? Listen, I could relate. He's over there. He got the kid in the background. Every time you see him do a shoulder look, I say, yeah, I know how it is, man.
Yeah, he said he couldn't focus. He said, Dad, I can't focus. Nah, man. Shout out to Leo, man. Shout out to Leo. That was a great win, great fight, great interview, bro.
Spectacular knockout.
And I asked him that question because I wanted, people to know, in case they didn't already, he had to eat some punches, and return the fire. And when he said he was working on his power, you saw that. And I think Bernardo, a lot of his punches come because they're on an angle. You kind of don't get a chance to see them coming. But Leo did a great job of kind of shelling up and rolling, because initially in the fight, he was kind of crouching in, and Bernardo, he already picking the shit up from his waist. So if he's got somebody crouching in coming forward, he can just kind of pop it up. But Leo definitely gave him different angles to where he wasn't landing. It was a great fight. And anybody that hadn't seen it, I think it has a lot of replay value. It's one of those fights, even though it was a late stoppage, you're watching the fight because, again, We know about Ronaldo's power, and then you just see how Leo, gets a chance to adjust to it throughout the fight.
Yeah, you don't see one-punch knockouts that often at featherweight, with the little guys. So it was impressive.
Yo, while we had him on, that's I don't know if you saw, Boots was going live.
He went live for like
I
2
seen
minutes.
the message. I seen the message. People were saying that he was live. Did he say anything?
Nah, he went on and he just like listened to some music, bopped his head, and went off.
Kids, you gotta love them. Could have did was saying something if you're gonna act like you know what it is. He probably's like, I'm listening. I want to show people I'm listening. These kids are so passive nowadays.
We got Treese Toledo.
Yow.
Yo.
Treese.
What up, though? What up, though? Marco, King of Mean, Ness, my guys, what's going on?
What up?
This is what up, though. This is shout out Haymon, man. This is interesting. Shout out Angelo Leo too, by the way. That was a great interview, man. That was a great interview. But you know me, man. Midwest Mafia. Shout out Al Haymon, man. He the godfather of this mafia shit I see, man. Don't nothing move without Big Al. You feel me? Apparently now we talking about boxing schedule and all this here. See, I'm liking what I'm hearing. But I'm not gonna hook. I heard you, Ness, you said 4 to 5 fights. So I'm running the numbers. Look at me. It's just basic math. Look at me. I'm on my CYP shit. That average out to about what? A fight per month type shit. I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck they gonna do a fight per month. And and then I'm taking your point. You be the main component of. You at least need to do we need promotion about 3 weeks out. Big fights 3 months out. We need to amp the promotion up. So it's like, damn, how you gonna give us a fight per month? You feel me? How you just gonna cram all these in here with no promotion? How we gonna know this shit? I don't know. But I do know that PBC, they got stars. That's one thing I will give them. They got stars. So if they find a way to sprinkle a star here, sprinkle a star there, next thing you know, this shit might be outer space, So who knows, man? But I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's because when I hear shit like this, and then I'm thinking this. I'm hearing y'all talking about networks. I had called in a while back, and I was talking that Venue Sports. I told you that's a new entity that's getting created by all these basically conglomerates between Fox, CBS, NBC. They just, like I told you, they just gonna throw all the sports in one big package bundle. So I think that PBC and Top Rank and all that, they might find their way over there. I don't know if we gonna get them all in one spot like we want them to. Because I thought the walls was closing in on PBC, but goddamn it, Al might have found a way. And I know that we were saying that his mom's was going through some stuff. You understand? I know how that go. I got some things going on with my parents as well. So I know how that go. You feel me? I definitely know how that go. You got to take some time to shake back. So yeah, man. Shout out TBV, shout out Toledo, Ohio. Shout out Al Haymon, man, the godfather of the Midwest Mafia, man. Y'all know what the fuck going on. Be cool.
Treese, the concierge, definitely holding it down for the Midwest Mafia. He raised an interesting point about the marketing and the rollout, as we call it, around these neck of the woods. And I do agree with something he said, but I guess in trying to be an optimist and shoot PBC some bail, I don't believe the September. I mean, come on, September in a couple of weeks, man. It's back to school. I don't know if there's a fight enticing enough to where it makes sense for them to try to give us something in September. So if you're asking me, I think it probably will start. So, this is a part of the rollout, if you will, just a discussion, but it's really based on the back of the alleged tank date in November. So whatever we got going on, by all intents and purposes, if Al is smart, you probably wouldn't want to get in the way of Riyadh season anyway with Better Beef and Bivol coming up in those kind of stacked cards. So if you're smart, keep people talking, tell people like the best weed man ever. You tell people September, but you ain't really gonna be there till November. And by the time you show up in November, you gonna have that fire.
I got Jay Swift. Get a recording of the kid. Every day I'm hustling. That is true. We need that. Leonard Sterling, 5 pound. The Pugmire asks Top Rank to respond to Hearn comments of offers sent to other 140-pound, 7-pound champions. Top Rank replied, too late, not enough. Not Hearn. Too late, not enough. Whatever the. So I guess it's too late, not enough money. Tavon Burns, member for 4 months. Ness, we love this show, man. Salute to you, my man, and King Amin. Salute to you, Tavon Burns.
Salute,
right back
brother.
at us with $5. Can't forgive Marco and Two-Tone TBV. Salute. You can forget Marco.
That's a G.
You can forget Marco. He's forgettable. He don't even know. He don't even. Hey, I mean, guess who this dude don't know, bro? He's mad disrespectful to the championship rounds, bro. He don't watch your content.
You're gonna ask the
you don't watch his
boxing
content. You don't watch his content because he's the king of women's boxing.
I know.
Guess who he don't know? I mean,
watch women's boxing because she think a woman gonna show up.
Guess who he don't know? I mean,
oh,
Killer.
I apologize in advance.
Killer Mel. Oh shit!
New York City legend.
Okay, thank you. I mean, he was about to scare me. Yo, he called her a fucking rapper.
If I mean, would have been like who?
Yeah, if I mean would have been like who, I'd have been looking like shit right now. But yo, he called her a rapper, bro. This dude's terrible, man.
It sounds like one of those '90s. Remember when everybody was like something smooth with a V, like Jeff Smooth? I'm like, who the fuck's Killer Mel?
Horrible.
I'm sorry.
Horrible.
It's gonna be,
That's disrespectful, Marco. We're gonna shoot you some bail, man.
DC3 $2. Ness, Marco, King Amin. Roll out coming soon. PBC-ish. Boxing Talk Up North, $2 Canadian. Keyshawn versus Body Ness. Any truth? Negative. Shit fake. Shit faker than some counterfeit Jordans, bro. Shit ain't happening, bro. I tell you what ain't happening. They ain't giving up the real name, that's for sure. I done tried to get that real name. They will not get that up, but it ain't Body. Phil LaGreca was actually going to jump on, but I already had, I think Norman Sr. was on at the time. But, you know, I was going to get Phil to jump on and just tell y'all it's a fucking lie because he tired of telling me it's a lie. Every time somebody send me a new rumor, I'm texting him. He like, man, that shit fake.
But this is for Keyshawn at 35, right? Top Rank?
Yeah. In Norfolk.
In Norfolk.
Yeah.
They done dusted off one of the Peterson brothers.
Shout out to, what is his name? Ashton Slav, man. My man said he wanted the rematch or Schofield or nothing. That's wild. I love that. Gonna back that boy. What up, Quan?
Yeah, what up? I think they should just if he willing, he said he back. They should just go on to Netflix. Why not? I mean, that card ain't really much else besides the women's fight and Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. But yeah, they Kid Austin he still deserve a chance to be on Netflix. I want to see if Kid Austin. I don't really care too much about H2O. I mean, H2O is good, but I want to see Kid Austin get an opportunity still on a big stage. But where these rumors coming from that Al Haymon is back?
World Boxing News and Alan Dawson.
Word. Man, listen. Al Haymon, if you listen, it's just one thing I need you to do. Get Earl back. Please. I'm tired of this. I need Earl back in there with Fandora. I'm ready to make some big money because all of y'all is asleep. Y'all think Earl is done. Y'all think he's shot. I think Earl gonna break this dude down, and I think it's the perfect style. Like y'all do give credit to Fandora. He is a good inside fighter, but I think Earl is gonna is textbook. He gonna go right to the body, get him tired. He's gonna do exactly what Mendoza did. That head is gonna be ready for the body. I mean, for the knockout. I think Earl gonna beat Fandora, and then I need him to press Bud. I love Bud, but that's the only fights that's gonna get Bud really back. I think he would take a Spence rematch, like it had to be a unification. I think Bud only take him or Canelo. Besides that, we ain't gonna see Bud. But I also think that Bud is tripping because he should fight Boots. I think he sleep on Boots' stock. Right now, Boots' stock is rising, but it ain't there. So I think he's sleeping on it, and I feel like it could be his Canelo. I feel like if Bud beat Boots, that's gonna be like how Floyd beat Canelo, because then Boots ain't gonna do nothing but still get better and then be future pound for pound #1. So Bud need to stop sleeping on that, and I feel like he can get the money. So it'll be everything he looking for. That's just my opinion. But back to Spence, I need him back in there. That's the only thing I care about. We know Tank got something up his sleeve, but yeah, that's the only thing I care that Al Haymon need to do. At least get Spence back in the ring. But yeah, that's my call. Shout out to TVV.
Yo, the only fight that Al Haymon can make with Spence that doesn't require a big rollout, just drop of a hat. You tell somebody the fight is made, and motherfuckers gonna be like, oh, is Spence and Thurman. If somehow Al managed to pull that out, that's a fight you can just drop. You know what I'm saying? There may even be some interest based on the skepticism about Thurman's ability to return. And obviously to be at 54.
You may feel like it's your time.
But I like that fight if you're just gonna drop something on people with little to no promotion.
I mean, the Spence Fundora fight has been sprinkled on us since what? Before Crawford fighting?
Yeah, right after
Madrimov.
right,
I think it's before Crawford fighting Madrimov.
right after
So,
I just think that there's a reason why that fight, they keep talking about it. Fundora says January, someone else says something else, because the reality is, no matter anybody want to admit it, if Spence was having issues with his gum shield, if he was having issues with his eye, and come on, like, I'm not doubting him, I'm just doubting the durability and optic wise, not skill wise, but I'm seeing that fight go like a fighter does well in the first 4 rounds until the size advantage takes over. So I'm thinking that it'll look like Boo Boo Benavidez. I want people to take away what you think about Boo Boo. I'm just talking about when a fighter a different size fights a fighter another size, and then the larger fighter starts to use those size advantages. But I could be wrong.
I got a bit of an unpopular hot take. I don't think Spence is going to fight again. Nor do I think Charlo is going to fight again. Maul, possibly Mel as well. I think their careers are probably done. I'm not saying that's what I want. I believe that they're not going to fight again. Who cares? Okay, cool.
Everyone
putting Ness to sleep. Yeah, I don't think he's going to fight. I think Spence is done. I think he had a long career. I think he's at the stage in his life where I think he's probably going to move on and do other things.
I don't know, man. I don't know that he going to just walk away without getting, without somebody making him walk away.
People, you know what I mean? People, when they get in their 30s, 40s, you know how it is. People start, mentalities change.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think that a fight will take place to officially retire him. I don't think he thinks he's retired, just like his fans don't. His fans think it's only one loss. He lost to a great fighter. He's not done, which in theory he should not be done. But
well, if he wasn't, what is he now? 36, 5? How old is he?
34. He's Canelo's age, ain't he? They all Canelo's age.
Okay, that's not that old. I don't remember what his amateur background was, depending how much mileage he has. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's starting to, psychologically, his mind state's starting to change into maybe more of a, other kind of business and do other things outside of boxing.
Abraham, talk to me.
Hey, shout out to the Boxing Voice. What's going on, Marco and Yamin and Ness?
What up?
What up, brother?
Chilling.
Not much. Hey, man, old dude that called in earlier proved the point that I made earlier in my last call, where they're talking about how Boots is lying about they turned down the fight. See, that's the shit I'm talking about, where you got these fighters that there's a reason why they don't want to fight somebody. They're undefeated. They don't want to get beat. And I like the point Yamin made earlier when he said he likes the Spence and Keith Thurman fight. And I was disappointed in Keith when he got injured because he came out hot when he first came out with that, I got I'm not afraid to go. Let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. So I was looking forward to that fight, and then he gets injured. And I'm like, man, come on, Keith. But I like that fight. If they can pull that fight off, you got a good point. That's a good fight. I'd love to see that fight. But that's all I got. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Y'all doing a great job. I'm out.
Appreciate
Champ,
you.
his name is Amin, not Yamin.
Nah, from Troy King. You know, Troy King, he got a different twist on it.
Yeah,
King
just
is
letting
what I
them
mean.
know. Just letting them know.
What's up?
What's
Let's
that?
make this
Ain't
official.
that Craig Mack?
Yup. Put cup and some change inside your hand.
Yo, why you so New York biased, but you don't know Killer Mel, bro? That's wild to me.
Because I don't watch
Tell
wrestling.
you, it's the
If I watch wrestling, I would know who that is.
That's crazy, bro. She's a Caribbean, man. Caribbean woman boxer. Wasn't she a world champ, I mean?
Yeah.
What's her real name?
Melanie. I don't know. Find out.
Oh, Mr. Boxing Pundit doesn't know the real name. Punk.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? He said punk.
Namin doesn't know her name either.
Nah, I don't know her last name.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that is kind of a cool name. I just never heard somebody go with like a WWF name before.
Melanie St. Ville. I knew I was right halfway.
Yeah, she Haitian. She Haitian American, shorty.
Yeah, that's why I said Caribbean. She next door to me.
And she does a lot of support for individuals on the spectrum. I think she has a relative on the spectrum. She does a lot for that. She was also in Team Combat League recently.
Dan out here taking sides and shit. But Jolene Mazzone also claiming that it's not true. But you know, there was a lot said. You just got to go listen to those interviews that we did. And it sounds like there was a lot of countering and maybe someone walked away. Hopefully they can, reignite those negotiations though. Bro. The donkey of the day. Lord have mercy. There's this article on Say Cheese. How does a Chicago man, I wish Danny was still on the show. How does a Chicago man fly in from, he flies from Cali to Chicago with 40 pounds in his luggage? Bro, how could you be that dumb?
Of weed or snow?
No, weed. He would be beyond dumb if he flew in with 40 pounds of fucking coke. He is done. But like,
you know what? He's a fool because in his mind he said, "Well, it's still 40 pounds is a lot," but he said,
like, "Yo, 40, dog."
Well, what's the rules? Because I know it's decriminalized now, right?
But
so he thinking, the carry-on is only 50 pounds. I'll just put 10. He's an idiot. I'm just saying he's an idiot. He thinking he'll check it in as a carry-on.
No, I'm sure. I don't know what he thought, and I don't know how he. Like, that was very compressed too to get 40 pounds in the luggage. He did his thing, but he's a wild boy.
That's one outfit. He went there with one outfit.
He's a wild boy. Wild boy, bruh. First of all, they knew, and they just called Chicago. They was waiting for him. They let him board. They caught him from the rip. They just let him board. Like, yo, you handle your shit. He coming your way. That's crazy, bruh. Like, I can't believe you that. I feel like there's no one that dumb. So I like to think outside the box. I think this is one of those mule situations where it's a decoy, where you let someone get caught so the bigger load comes through. Because you can't be this dumb. You can't.
Yeah, but
Who convinced them? Like, nah, champ. Look. What we gonna do is this. The master plan is to hide it in plain sight. What you mean? No, we just gonna put it in your luggage. It's like said, bro, they give you 40, 50 pounds to fly. We gonna throw 40 pounds in there. You gonna be 10 under. They ain't even gonna check, B.
It's legal here, yo. I'm telling you.
You in Cali, they gonna let you fly. You gotta worry about that shit in Chicago.
Man, Chicago, I know people. They don't be checking the bags no time, man. All you gotta do is anybody tell you some shit. All you gotta do is it's a bad idea.
Lord.
All you gotta do is coming through O'Hare International.
40 pounds in your luggage, bro. Jesus, poor guy, man. H-Town, what up? Poor guy.
"90 seconds."
H-Town. Tip, Bellis.
Tip.
Tip, unmute. Drew, what it do?
Yo.
Oh, all right. What up?
Yo.
Hold on, Drew. He answered.
Oh man, get that pom-pom waiver out of here.
Oh, no, go ahead, Drew. Go ahead. I'll go after.
No, I want to counter you. No, I want to counter you with your nonsense.
Nah, man, I got to hear what you got to say first because, it's the return of Al Haymon. So go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all gentlemen, man.
One of y'all about to go. This bell rang.
All right. Beauty before age. So I'll go. Ness, we heard this before. I want to believe it. I want to give PBC the benefit of the doubt. But we heard this before. The real rollout was Tank's first pay-per-view, remember? And before Canelo. We are going to get a schedule. We are going to get a free date. Dan Rafael keep pushing it back. We were supposed to get a free Caleb Plant, Stephen Fulton. We didn't get that. So these next cards, are they going to be all pay-per-view? I mean, I thought it was free boxing for all, King. I mean, what happened?
Well, they did mention something that. Hold on, Drew. In that proposal, in the article, they did mention that some of these items would be available for streaming and not behind the paywall. But this is all alleged. I don't know it to be fact.
I mean, we heard that back when they were announcing the first Canelo fight during the first Thurman rollout.
I remember that.
I mean, we've been hearing that we're gonna get a free card. So we just waiting to see the Canelo and Tank pay-per-view numbers for September and November to see if we can get a schedule because we ain't getting them 12 to 14 cards a year like they said.
Drew, I'm still waiting on the Tooth Fairy.
It's good for the fighters. Hello, you hear me? I mean,
yeah, I'm still waiting on the Tooth Fairy too, man. With PBC with this, I hear you. I totally get your point, brother.
That's all I'm saying. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. We want more of a schedule. We want them all under one umbrella. If they would have did what me and Ness went to the zone, we wouldn't be having these issues. We would have a consistent schedule. And it would be up to Matchroom, PBC, and Golden Boy to compete to see who's giving PBC giving the zone the better metrics. And that whatever promoter is giving the better metrics gets more of the budget. That's what we wanted to see. As far as what's going on now with I don't know. I mean, it sounds to me like the Brian Norman team got a lot of duck sauce in they diet. You know what I mean? Atlanta looked down bad. Jay Benitez, what's up, man? What's up with Brian Norman Jr., man? Brian Norman Sr. It sounds like a lot of duck sauce, bro. The man sold 14,000 tickets. You're in no position to think you're the A-sider with these counter offers or whatever.
I mean, you absolutely have a position to go do a counter. You willing to go to the man's hometown, so there should be a counter. Yeah. It's a unification. It's a unification. It's not a title defense that Boots is making.
No. They have some leverage, but as far as you said they countered the counter. What's next? Where's the loss in communication? How come? Why? What if Boosie isn't involved in the negotiation?
No,
why you call Bosie? Why don't you call the manager?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think happened, bro. So there's an offer. Then we counter that offer.
Let's see what's going on. I'm gonna run you another 5 Ness after I hear Tip Bayless's nonsense, trying to spin it again because we're getting the same story that we got back in May and June about a rollout.
All right, champ.
Yo, and that's why I respect Drew's opinion on that. I can't soften the blows, man. Drew be coming in just punching, but again, I was old enough to remember when I used to be excited to see PBC on Fox Sports. This is why I'm pessimistic. I want people to understand. I remember the days I used to see PBC on Fox, and I said to myself, wow, top rankings on ESPN, PBC, they're doing their thing with Fox. They're on Fox Sports, the Fox networks. And then, PBC, the show started to dwindle, and then you didn't see them, did it? Because they were also supposed to be on Fox. They just kind of never got that sort of takeoff or popularity. So my whole thing is, you can be a promoter, but you need a network. And so I'm just very skeptical of their ability to maintain a network when I watch them fumble the bag already. You're supposed to give people a second chance, and I have, and I am, and I'm willing, but it's hard to see them in this position again and believe them when I see them shit the bed.
Yo, so as a dude that doesn't have Peacock, I need one of y'all to tell me if this new series is gonna be dope, or is it dope after September 5th it drops. It's got major actors. If this was a movie, I'd go to the movies to see it. You got Kevin Hart, you got Samuel L. Jackson, Taraji P. Henson, Don Cheadle, and Terrence Howard. It's called,
in the same show?
Yeah, it's called Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist. It starts September 5th on fucking Peacock, like I got Peacock.
It's a boxing show?
Ironically, it doesn't say it's a boxing show, but it is. Schemers, dreamers, hustlers, and high rollers collide over $1 million heist on the night of Muhammad Ali's historic 1970s comeback fight in Atlanta.
Who the hell did he fight that night? I forget.
Interesting.
I think I gotta buy it. It's Muhammad Ali. See, this isn't Ben Whitaker, where you're forced to buy for Ben Whitaker. You're buying for Muhammad Ali and superstar Kevin Hart, superstar Don Cheadle, superstar Terrence Howard, this lovely, sexy, beautiful superstar Taraji P. Henson. I mean, sounds like it's worth my money. And
yeah, but you also
Samuel
get Caroline
Jackson.
Dubois with Boxer Nest. Don't front.
Who?
Caroline Dubois.
I'm talking Taraji, you talking about Dubois. What in the hell is wrong with this young man? Damn, I think I just bought Peacock, bro. There's too many actors on that one show, and then it happens to be about Muhammad Ali. I have to get Peacock now. It's fucking crazy.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Peacock has that, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Hart's podcast is on that.
Damn. Kevin Hart ain't shit. He put his stuff everywhere. He be dealing with Netflix, with Apple. Like, these guys got to get consistent, man. This is too many different networks.
He need to help out PBC.
Yeah, you ain't lying, right? A celebrity fight, man. Who could we get Kevin to fight?
Kevin's not fighting. My man used to train
Kevin Hart versus Tip.
Kevin Hart versus Floyd. Floyd out here doing that. Floyd out here doing exhibitions. Yo, you seen what Floyd said about fighting Julio Cesar Chavez? He said, what y'all want me to fight him with one hand? Damn. He really trying to bait the GOAT in.
Chavez?
I mean, let me rephrase that. Chavez is no GOAT, because that would be Canelo, but he really trying to bait Chavez in.
Wait, what?
We already had this debate, bro. We're not on the same spectrum. You believe that dude that fought a bunch of cab drivers is a GOAT, and I believe the walking GOAT is the living legend.
Well, let me say this. I never include active fighters in GOAT talk because the data hasn't been fully collected yet.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, when you got a resume as extensive as Canelo's, you can include him. He's an active living legend. Like
he might get. What if he loses every fight from now? Another 6-7 fights.
It couldn't matter what you did. Like Roy lost for 10
Yeah,
years.
that's true.
You know.
Don't bring up the R word.
No, I was gonna say, Marco. What if our hair grows back? You talking about what if Canelo loses? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I still like to gather the whole data sample before I start,
How many highlights you need to watch?
You.
How many highlights you need to watch before you become a fan?
I need a lot of highlights.
Tip, go ahead.
Tip, you taking that Kevin Hart fight on Netflix?
I got Tavon Burns counterpunch for tip. DC3 $2. Seen Mel and Maul at Galleria rollout coming soon. Shh. Alan Day $5. Boots and Tank are the undisputed speculation champions. When fighters that are not flat-footed with skills knock on their door, it's zip emoji face. Leonard Sterling 5-pounder. Could it be Fundora holding it up? Nevada suspended him September 27th. WBO resolution says TGB Brown sent medical certificate, told them Fundora can't train until September. Yeah, it's all strategic, man. It's all strategic. Lake County, $2. PBC ain't going out without a fight. Refuse to die. Leonard Sterling, 2-pounder. Melissa Santville. That's who we talking about when we say Killer Mel. Okay, Fen? You got it now?
Yep.
Malcolm, $2. Gotcha. Drew, a.k.a. Hey, Ness. Right, Ness? Teacher's pet.
Oh.
Apple emoji. Books emoji. 9 thumbs up, Drew. They coming for you, Drew. Yo. Hey, yo, you ain't shit. He said teacher's pet. Y'all ain't shit. Drew don't even agree with me, bro. He literally, don't y'all get, he's being sarcastic and going against me. When he says hit my music, he's not going for Berlanga. He wants Berlanga to get knocked out by Canelo. Like, I don't think y'all even listening to the call. Tip, is you not there?
Tip Bayless.
Yo, Tip Bayless, Al Heyman representative, PBC, who stepping up to the center, got that all black beretta, bro. And I put some lead in you. And I got a blade too, that one that was on Predator. Yo, y'all don't even know who that is, bro. Y'all don't even know who that is.
I don't.
Shout out to
Juvenile?
Shout out to Philly, man. Shout out to Philly, man. Shout out to Philly, man. You know what I'm saying? All my Philly supporters, y'all know where that come from. But anyway, man. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? I heard somebody say the PBC ain't roll out. You know what I'm saying? I heard nah. It's read dollars, man. Read dollars. But look, I heard somebody say the PBC ain't roll out. Listen, man, we've been rolling out all year. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we rolled out last night. You know what I'm saying? On Pro Box TV. Starting off with the PBC prospect of the year, you know, Michael Angeletti. Yo, y'all must have forgot, you know what I'm saying? Like Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. Yeah. Go look at his bio, man. You know, Michael Angeletti, PBC prospect of the year. I think it was 2022. Then, you know, we followed that up, you know, with a PBC headline, man. PBC on Pro Box, you know. Pro Box champions, man. Jerry Hurd versus Jason Rosario. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, we taking over, man. You know, we taking over. Slowly.
You claiming that robbery, Tip?
What robbery?
Rosario got robbed.
That fight was a draw, man. That fight wasn't no robbery. It was a draw. It was a clear draw. Neither one of them did enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, neither one, honestly. You know, especially
I forgot
in
her
that 10th
from
round.
Maryland. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, it ain't even a bias. I just don't think neither one did enough. You know what I'm saying? I thought Hurd took the early rounds and Jason Rosario came on in the back half of the fight. You know, that's just what it is, man. And then, you know, Al Heyman, you know, he ain't the only one coming back, man. Just know maybe December, January, February, you know, the man is back. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. The man is back. That's what he's saying.
They actually said August, September, October. You know, they're not sure. They gave 3 months. But hey,
no.
But hey, we only got 2 left now, so we good.
No, I'm not talking about Al, bro. I'm not talking about Al.
No, I'm talking about the rollout. I'm talking about the rollout.
Oh, the rollout, man. Hey, listen, bro. What you say? We got how many months? We got 3.
Well, now it's only 2. Now it's only 2 since Espinoza said that it's only 2 now. We only got September, October left, so you guarantee.
Hey, that's fine, man. We got the whole 2025, man. We got the whole 20. So we gave y'all enough time. Y'all sat here and bullshitted, and we gave y'all enough time. And you know what I'm saying? Now it seems like y'all can't even make big fights happen because, you know, we got Brian O'Messiah jumping on here talking about Eddie Hearn, you know, not making the fights. You know, Timboski, where you at, man? You know, it's just nasty out here. That's how they doing over on Matchroom, you know what I'm saying, on the Riyadh side. Nasty work, man. I told y'all. Y'all talk about, y'all. Now I want to hear all these protection program callers call in. You know, the ones who was hating on Al Heyman talking about a protection program. We just heard out of Brian O'Messiah's mouth that Matchroom and them folk you know what I'm saying, weren't trying to make the fight with
Well,
Brian Norman Jr.
he misunderstood the text. The text from Lance Pugmire is him asking a top-ranked representative. The top-ranked representative is saying too late, not enough, which means too late, not enough money.
You may feel like it's your time,
But
but it's not your time.
my thing is, how could Top Rank turn down a fight on behalf of their fighter when they got an active manager that's not part of Top Rank? So, you know, you got Adrian and Moline Jazone doing their job, you know, but then you got Top Rank doing interviews saying no and not enough money, you know. So then, of course, Matchroom going to think that they don't want to move on. So, you know, there's some communication issues there for sure. But that is the
A
bell
lot of nasty work.
player. Yeah.
You know what?
I
And let
I
me
got a
apologize to Tip because I was confused. I said they didn't do a rollout. Tip is right. Because I guess what he's saying is PBC rollout is when the fighters roll out from PBC when they move on. So yeah, we saw fighters, you know, that used to be PBC rolled out onto Pro Box. So yeah, I guess the rollout is happening. We'll see who rolls out next.
Let's see here. Who is next? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We got a counterpunch for CYP from Sony.
Yo, 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 yo.
You?
Hey,
Good day, sir.
what up, fellas? What up? Hey, you know it was crazy and shit because I was looking up the PBC Amazon deal, and not one time did I read from the executives from PBC or the executives from Amazon saying 12 to 14 fights. That was something that the internet put up because I got their own words. They never said that specifically. That's just something we added. But I was looking at the pay-per-view fights. We had Tank versus Frank, Canelo Jaime, Tim versus Fondura, which was supposed to be Thurman, Canelo versus Berlanga. Tank is supposed to be in November. It was versus Loma, but he's gonna fight someone else, and then Spence versus Fondura. Those are a lot of fights for a company that just started in February, in March. That's 6 pay-per-views in one calendar year when you started in March. But if that's not a rollout, if that's not them keeping their word, then what was their words? Well, let's just go to their words. Prime Video will distribute PBC's industry's leading pay-per-view events in the USA. Leading pay-per-view events in the USA. First event anticipated for March 2024. PBC fights will be available for all viewers and purchase, blah, 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 blah. They will also have a streaming service for other fights, which will be announced at a later date. They never gave you a specific date for the other fights. Never did they say they were giving you a date for when they would have the other fights. That's something that y'all have made up, and y'all love making shit up about PBC. This is the executive. We are thrilled. We are thrilled to join PBC to bring the best boxers in the world to Prime Video and give more fans than ever the chance to experience these multi-events, said Mary Donahue, VP, U.S. Sports Content and Partnership of Amazon. So these are the actual words from the executives on the PBC website that say nothing about 12 to 14 fights or events this year, that say nothing about, oh, we're going to let you know when the other events are going to happen. They said none of that. So if you're going to speak on them, speak on what the executives are saying, not what Twitter is saying. That's all I'm asking. Everybody has a job to do. Their job is to tell you the facts. Others people's job is to report the facts, and it's your job to accept it or make up shit because you don't like what they telling you. If you don't like what they doing, just stop. Do us a favor. Just stop fucking watching. Because I'm really getting tired of all this shit. It's like you keep calling this girl ugly, but you stay following her on Instagram. You stay liking all her pictures. But every time we talk about it, you talk about how ugly she is, how much she's on your nerves. What's what you do? Stop following the girl, all right? Let PBC be the ugly fat girl that you really don't like and stop liking her pictures because I'm on the job. If I catch your name in the DMs, if I catch your name on that like button in the comment section, I'm on your ass, Drew Ski. CYP out.
Just for the record, man, I don't mind him a little chubby, CYP, so I'm going to go and keep chasing this chubster. PBC, that is.
Who is next? Looking like H-Town.
What up, Ness? Can you hear me?
Yep.
H-Town, baby. Hey, man. Brian Norman Jr. on that ass. Them lug boots. Where they going? Hey, you know what, man? All these people arguing about the whole, did Al offer David or not? I'm going to choose to believe the one guy that kept it 100 this whole time. That's Eddie Reynoso. Eddie said we've never gotten a contract on our desk with David Benavidez' name on it. He said if we've been offered $55 million, we'd fight him tomorrow. Somebody showed me a contract that was offered to me, and then everyone went silent. So I'm gonna choose to believe him. Everything else, I don't care. Everybody bring up your Espinosa articles, the guy known to lie, all these guys that are known to lie. I'm gonna roll with Eddie, man. And since he's the one that he let the nuts hang and everybody else's nuts quivered when he let his nuts hang, I don't believe him. But yo, man, come on, hey, Brian Norman Jr., man, that's the dog. Let's go. Where's Boots? I got Brian Norman Jr., man. Who you got? Ness?
I mean, we got to let the fight happen first.
I mean, it looks. Well, Senior says he wants it, so let's see what Bozy. Bozy was dancing when Bud was talking to him on that phone on that $1 million worth of game. Let's see what kind of Bozy dancing he does now. Kind of seems like they're protecting Boots. I'm out, Ness. H-Town.
I think it was more about negotiations. I mean, the people said they countered the counter. Maybe they just decided, look, let's move on. Maybe they got to, Eddie said that they sent multiple offers to multiple champions. Maybe maybe one of the other champions accepted while they, simultaneously, negotiating back and forth with Norman. I don't know. But hopefully they could get it over the line, man. Drew, what up?
Hello, can you hear me?
You.
Yo. I love when CYP gets on the case. I'm citing an article from the Sports Business Journal. Tagged y'all with the screenshots and the link. It says from a reputable reporter that the dates are 12 to 14 from a source in PBC that helped broker the deal. So we're not making this up off of Twitter. And look at that shit I tagged you on Twitter. I mean, I see a real rollout from Amazon Prime Japan saying they're having a 2-night spectacle in a row of boxing. I mean, that's what I look like as a rollout. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be misconstruing the facts, but I was told 12 to 14 dates annually. And how many dates have we had so far? We're going to do half that?
But it was also not supposed to only be pay-per-view, though.
Exactly. That's my point. And in that article I sent the link to says that. So that's what we just holding them to the standard that I'm going to hold all the other platforms to. When we say Matchroom is giving basura, they're giving basura. But we're getting good cards. You know what I mean?
Drew, she told you she was thick. Drew, she told you she was thick, and when you showed up, she was a torta.
Yeah,
I don't do the tortas. That's Baby Joker.
The article does say 12 to 14. Prime Video will air 12 to 14 fights annually between pay-per-views and non-pay-per-views. So that's our issue. Everything has been pay-per-view.
Exactly. We Dan Raphael, you probably got the tweets. And that's Dan Raphael said the first free card was supposed to be what?
August
June or July?
or 17th.
August? No.
It was supposed to be August. The Plant fight, and then they put him on pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, but there was a tweet before that saying it was supposed to be like in June or July. And then it went to August, and now it's like, when are we getting it? That's all. You know what I'm saying? I got my Prime. I bought the pay-per-views. We just hold them to the standard, CYP. It's okay, If CYP has other research that's later than that date, I will happily be wrong. But that article is from last year, and it's talking about the deal breaking. So we ain't seen that deal come up. But then it all could be Keith Thurman's fault. I know Tip Bayless is saying Keith Thurman coming back, but he got hurt. So, where's one time? I'm going to blame Keith Thurman. That's because he's the one that usually is the fire starter for these PBC events on new platforms. And because he didn't come through, it's like, they're not coming through. So, hopefully we get the rollout. But check that out, man. Amazon Prime Japan, they really rolling it out. They really putting money behind boxing for an outfit that gives entertaining fights and not dudes with rib injuries, hand injuries, and snake oil salesman promoters like Samson Lukowitz. That's my call.
All right. And Quan, what is up?
Yo, what up? I had to tap back in real quick. I want to know your thoughts on this. What Canelo been saying recently about David. The first thing he was saying, he was like, the fact that David is fighting at 75, he's fighting at his size. That's why he don't look good. So he pretty much trashed him like that. And then he said that he's still open to a Dimitri Bivol rematch.
Yeah, I seen them both.
So I'm like, yo, that
Bruh,
makes sense. Like, I
he
mean,
just playing hardball, man. You could tell.
that
Like he being what is the right word to use? Like he nitpicking, right? Like you don't want to fight the
then what
dude,
could you
but you
say if that
talking about
happened
the
though?
dude. Huh?
Yeah, because everybody gonna keep on asking questions. But I'm saying though, if that play do happen, Dimitri Bivol beats Beterbiev. Then somehow, maybe they work something out, give Beterbiev some side money for the rematch, and then Canelo do step in, and then it's like, all right, he stepped in, he still went up there and fought at 175. Why you up there, David? And he's still not fighting him. He had like a valid excuse because it's like he getting his get back. After if he beat Bivol, is he going to come back to the David
Why
fight?
would
We
he
don't know.
fight
Maybe
David
that's
after
asking him a lot.
undisputing? Like if Bivol
That's what I'm
wins,
saying. That's asking him a lot at that point. As
exactly.
you know, me, I'm not even the best. I'm not even really a Canelo fan. I'll be saying I'm a Canelo hater. I would say that's a lot asking him to do that. So it's tough, man. It's tough, and I feel like I guess that's what you can do when one of the faces of boxing. We just can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. But I don't appreciate that the price going up. It's crazy.
Word.
But yeah, I just wanted to tap in to say that.
All right, appreciate the counter. I got another screen share here directly from Prime that claims, they were gonna do pay-per-view events, championship bouts, behind-the-scenes docu-series. We haven't gotten the championship bouts non-pay-per-view, and we haven't gotten any of the docu-series either on anything. But yeah, we got Moose.
Check 1, 2. Am I coming through?
You coming through?
Al Heyman back. Got the game by the horns. Freaking these other promoters like it's porn. You other promoters need to get in line. Y'all messing with the sheik because y'all pockets dry. Al Heyman killing them softly. Got the haters crying. Al Heyman not always there when you call, but he always on time. And he gave you his all, so all will be fine. Shout out to Ja Rule. But yeah, man, y'all need to put some respect on Al Heyman's name. You feel what I'm saying? A real nigga in the game doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Enough about Al Heyman though. I'm about to move on to Brian Norman Jr. and Boots. Now I love Boots, man. Like I really love Boots. You know what I'm saying? This brother is captivating. You know what I'm saying? He do his thing like nobody else. But I saw Brian Norman Jr. and I only saw him once. And I was like, oh man, that's the one. So it's like I'm between a rock and a hard place. I don't know which way to go. You know. But man, I'm rolling with Brian Norman Jr. You know. I'm gonna be happy regardless of who wins. But I got Brian Norman Jr. in the end. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that's all, man. I think that's we done covered Al Heyman and we done covered Boots versus Brian Norman Jr. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. Sr. coming through and speaking the truth. You feel what I'm saying? Dropping them jewels. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TBV. One love. That's all I got.
All right. We got
Yeah, he got elements of Spider Rico. I like that.
nah. That's what
Very
they said, that
mystical.
they related in another galaxy.
Definitely. Yo, I gotta cut up out of here so I could be ready for the show later, man. And while you guys have time, it's only a few short minutes of your time, maybe about 10 minutes or so. Check out the newest episode of the championship rounds. I'm talking about the bantamweight division. Dina Thorslund making her last dance. She's gonna no longer hold the belt hostage over there in Denmark. She's supposed to be coming stateside after this bout. Also talking about what happens next. I told you guys for Layla Baldon, and of course the big news, the $1 million Nepo baby Sky Nicholson. If her and Raven Chapman is getting it on in Riyadh, in the meantime, I would love to see Caddis Ottingstall and Tiara Brown find out why on an episode of the championship rounds. Also follow me on IG and Twitter, man. I'm out.
All right, all right. Let's see here. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Only the strong survive. We got Leonard Sterling, 5-pounder. Have you received the press release for the Tim Tszyu Murataya October 19th Orlando on Prime Video? Saw it added to Dan Rayfield's schedule yesterday. No, I did not. I have not received that press release just yet. The newest release that I received today was the media workout quotes and notes and photos from yesterday's media workout for Danny Garcia in Philadelphia. And that is pertaining to PBC. Outside of that, the other releases have not been anything in reference to the PBC. CYP.
Hey, yo, hey, first off, we're going to ask. I ain't never heard Eddie Reynoso say if they offer $55 million, they'll fight David today. If that's true, please tell us where he said that at. Because you telling me the Sheik won't offer him $55 million? Are you telling me the Sheik? If he hears that.
I don't have a link, CYP, but I'm sure they're going to find one because believe me, he said that. He certainly said
shit. Damn, I ain't never heard that. Well, shout out to that. But we need to make that public. Like bring that out and shoot that to the Sheik. Because 55 million, hey, shit. This is what we're going to.
But it's too late. Canelo raised the price, though.
Well, that's a problem. If it's 55, we get to 55, then you say 100, that would be duck categories. That would be
he
dark
said
wing
more than
duck.
100. Remember, he said 200.
Yeah, and that'd be Daffy Duck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what's crazy is that Drew, you're a smart man. That's why I like going back and forth with you. But you're a smart man also are manipulative men. They try to manipulate people who are not as smart as them. That's what you do a lot. If let's just say Showtime said that a fight did 500K. Showtime Espinosa said did 500K. But an inside source said it did $1 million. Which money, which offer, which rumor is going to get the boxers paid? Is it what Steven and Showtime said, or is it what the inside source said? Because we try to act as if the PBC executives that are attached to the comments that did not say nothing about no 12 to 14, that don't matter because the inside source told you it was 12 to 14. So if the inside source is more important than the executives who work there, wouldn't that mean if you said that a fight only did 50,000 views, then we're going to go off of that to pay the fighters, even though they said it did 150? Like think about what I'm telling you. If the executives put their name on something, that's when you can hold them accountable. That's the reason why we ask for them to show contracts. Show what you said, because once you show it, we got to accept it because you're the man making the offer. You're the man who sent it. So we have to believe because it's coming from you. But now, when PBC and the executives actually put an article out on their website telling us, we're going to ignore that for rumors. And I find it funny that we always do that shit when it comes to PBC. The things you ask them for that you think they won't do, you get on them. But if Al Haymon says, okay, I'm going to show my face, then you say, oh, he's finally showing his face. But when he's not showing his face, oh, he doesn't exist. Which one is it? If he shows his face, are you going to continue to say he doesn't exist? Or you just want to say he doesn't exist because you're a fucking hater? Because reality says the executives did not say that. You heard that from a source that wrote it down. They said this. So I'm going to go with what they said because in the court of law, you're a smart man. You're better off winning that case with the horse's mouth telling you, yes, I did this. That is an open and shut case. You can get the man who wrote it, who created it to say it. Everybody else, They do not compare to the original person. So let's stop the bullshit on here and respect actual people who work and it's their job. Hold them way more accountable than a fucking rumor on an anonymous source. When they come out and put it down,
You may feel like
we
it's your
gonna
time,
roll. We gonna roll with that.
but it's
I'm
not
gone.
your time.
Alrighty then. Looks like the show's come to an end. We'll be back 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. Nest GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Please do recommend any topics that you would prefer we discuss on our second show at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. Until the next one, peace.